There's the countdown over, and yes, it's dressing gown night again, and you might be able to tell by my wet hair I'm just out of the shower. It's one of those sorts of days. Hello all, who's already in the chat? Musical Aviator, that comment was from 2 hours ago. Shieldsy, Fox of Fate. Megaleech, I think I said Invisible Chicken. Justin, hello. Hello, everyone. Shieldsy, glad all that shit's done. Yes, it's a bunch of shit, and the last stupid shit is over. Just the way these idiots have been whipped up by Trump, and he is not going to stop. He's going to keep going, and you're going to get like another Oklahoma bombing level event from these fucking psychopaths, because they are absolutely detached from reality. They are absolutely in a cult. They are absolutely convinced of the holy sanctity of their crusade, and they are among the most dangerous people on the planet. Readers, hello. Well, apparently a bunch of people, there are even rumors that Republicans will push for a 25th Amendment, and Invisible Chicken, to answer the point, if Trump is declared unfit for office, that means he can't run again. Because as it stands, he can run again. So there is some potential value to having him removed from office as unfit for office. Megaleech, no, I think you're thinking impeachment and removal. 25th Amendment, I think, is the vice president and a majority of the cabinet form the opinion that the president isn't fit to hold office. That's the 25th Amendment. Yes, impeachment is different, and I don't think you can do it very quickly. All right, I'll look it up. 25th Amendment. President is unable to do his job. So let's see. If the president's fired, dies, resigns, unable to discharge duties, vice president take over. Vice president will do the president's job till they get better. So yes, the 25th Amendment is quite vague. (1841), the 9th president, William Henry Harrison, was the first president to die in office. After Harrison died, his cabinet met, decided Vice President John Tyler would become Vice President, acting president. Tyler did not like the idea. He announced he was president. Refused to look at any papers that were addressed to him as acting president. Took a presidential oath, moved into the White House. That's fun. So, members of Congress suggested 2 different amendments to fill the details. One proposal suggests allowing Congress to make a law about who should decide when president is disabled. Another one, the Bath-Keller proposal ended up becoming the 25th Amendment. Senator Bay proposed amendment, suggested a way to fill the vice president's position if it was empty, set out rules for how the, okay, that's what we want. How can it be happened? President can declare themselves unable to do the job. Section 4 is the only part of the amendment that has never been used. It allows other executive officers to declare the president unable to do his job. Vice president must agree to do this. So must a majority of principal officers of the executive, as in the cabinet, or such other body as Congress may by law provide. So Congress may set up a specific body to do this. These people would have to sign, give a letter to the President of the Senate and Speaker of the House. Vice President would become acting President. President can try and take the presidency back by sending a letter to the Speaker of the House. If the Vice President and Cabinet still think President is disabled, still cannot do his job, they can challenge his return. If 2/3 of each House of Congress votes, okay. That's where you got the 2/3 of the houses of Congress. Invoking the 25th Amendment can be done by the Vice President and a majority of his cabinet. But then if the President responds and says, they're full of shit, I am able to do my job, and he can get his job back just by saying that. But then the Vice President and Cabinet can again say, no, he can't do his job. And that's when 2/3 of each House have to ratify. So, yes. So, the initial invocation of the 25th Amendment would be done by the Vice President and more than half of the Cabinet, or Congress can set up a body to that has legal standing to declare the president unfit. But then the president can say, nuts to you, I am fit to office. And then the vice president and cabinet can say, nuts to you, no, you're not. But at that point, that's when 2/3 of both houses have to agree. So that's how it works. So it's like dumb as hell. It's dumb as hell. Yeah, in the last. So yeah, Skivos Mavros, there's not enough time to do it. But yeah. I love all the rumors about Trump wanting to skip the country straight away so he won't get arrested, which I think is fucking hilarious. I just think that's really fun. So I also miss Kirsten, the Hellion hello. So yeah, I don't see, again, we saw what happened with impeachment. With impeachment, again, and it's really important to remember, impeachment is a political process that kind of looks like a legal process. It isn't a legal process. It's not a criminal process. It's the governing body saying, we believe the president is unfit to do their job. As we saw, it's based on a vote. It is not based on any reasonable assessment of evidence. It's based on who has the numbers. So as we saw, the Democrat-controlled Congress voted to impeach. The Republican-controlled Senate voted to not remove him from office. I think that's another one where it has to be like a 2/3 majority in the Senate or something. Like it's a simple majority in Congress can vote to impeach, but it's a bigger majority in the Senate has to vote to remove the president from office. Oh, God. Sad troppers. I'm not losing it. I'm stating how the law works. I'm not stating whether or not, in that breath when you whined like a little bitch, Pete, I was not stating whether or not Trump should be removed. I was stating how the law works. So if you think I'm losing it, you're just, a typical pathetic Trump fucking ass licker, detached from reality, absolutely worthless fucking scum. Yes, Kirsten, that's a good way to view it. What a day to be alive. That's an interesting question, Raiders, and I don't know how that law works because, yes, ex-presidents get a protection detail, but if, for argument's sake, if there were some legal proceedings against Trump, would that same protection detail, could they be ordered to actually stop Trump from leaving the country? I don't know. That's one that I don't know. Oh my God, another one of these. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that this is attracting these fuckwits. And Andrew, it's nice having free speech in the Second Amendment while it lasted. You gibbering fucking moron. Oh yeah, Kirsten. Okay, fun news. Cast new distillery whiskey. I got exciting news email from your pals about pre-bottled cocktails that sound quite interesting from Archie Rose. I mean, I probably won't get them because I'm mixing my own, but they were a very interesting collection. Andrew Brill, you're shanking in your boots. You're pissing your pants, you pathetic little child. Skivos, that's a fun one. You reckon Trump would, again, do you reckon Trump would still trust Pence to pardon him? That's an interesting one. And also there's all this thing about what's Pence going to pardon him for? He's not facing criminal charges, let alone... he's not facing criminal charges, let alone a conviction. All those absolutely despicable people that Trump pardoned, including the war criminals, the murderers of civilians, because Trump is truly despicable filth. So, yeah. But there is nothing to pardon him for. Shieldsy, there was only the one sad little bitch on Facebook that you couldn't see. The other sad little bitch was on YouTube, who you could see until I found them exceptionally boring. Skivos, you may be right. I am not an expert in this area. The idea of a presumptive pardon being done in the past, I do not know. For instance, okay, yeah, no, I think you're right because Ford pardoned Nixon, but to the best of my knowledge, Nixon hadn't even been charged with anything, let alone convicted. He definitely wasn't convicted. So I think you're right, actually. But you'd have to narrow it down. I mean, yeah, whereas, because Ford could Highly. Ford could be very specific and say pardoning Nixon presumptively if there are any adverse findings in relation to Watergate. So he could be really specific and say, yeah, if any sort of investigation reveals criminal wrongdoing around Watergate, presumptively pardoning Nixon. So I think you're right. I think as recently as Nixon that happened. Again, not an expert, not a lawyer, but I think that's what happened. So Raiders. Trump's already been throwing pardons to all the people who could potentially incriminate him. I mean, Clinton threw out one or two quite shifty pardons at the end of his presidency, but Trump is absolutely deranged. Hey, Annette, how's it going? Yes, Invisible Chicken, you raise a good point. Presidential pardons are only about federal crimes. A presidential pardon can't override a state crime or impeachment, for that matter. But then again, as I said, impeachment is not a criminal proceeding. Everyone falls into the trap. Not everyone. A lot of people fall into the trap of thinking it's criminal proceedings, and it's not. And I am going to Hugh Hef vibe. It is another one of those days. Getting towards the end of my time off work, and some shit was going on today, and needed to take a bit of me time, and only just had a shower just before coming on, and so no clothes. It's dressing gown time. Zeph like a young Hugh Hef. Oh yes. May my enemies live long so they can see me progress. Why am I quoting Deantivod? They've probably done some very dodgy things. I was very into their music, though. She goes, what's that? Trump's hole is now filling in with him in it. It's a bad mental image. I'm not sure what you meant. Raiders, you're watching a lot of C-SPAN? Yeah, I was watching a lot of BBC today. It's a wild old time. Though I still think the funniest thing that's happened is like Trump supporters are not quite as clever as the Nazis trying to blame someone else for what they did, because they literally spent weeks openly saying, yep, we're going to burn the Reichstag. And then, a day or two ago, it's like, oh, yep, just like Trump asked us to, we're coming to DC and we don't get our way, we're going to burn the Reichstag. And then today or Wednesday American time, they're all there with their cameras and no masks. So, because masks are for the weak, and probably should wear one when you're committing serious crimes, though. So they're all there with no masks on, saying, "Here I am, burning the Reichstag." And then they all got home and they found out that their actions weren't particularly popular. And now they're all on social media, including, I know, at least one Republican in Congress fucking said this, that wasn't Trump supporters, that was Antifa agitators trying to make Trump supporters look bad. It's like, it's the most fucking pathetic lie, but it's just what they do. They just lie. And it doesn't matter how stupid the lie is. It serves their purpose. They're going to do it. They're impervious. It was that Matt Gaetz. It's just fucking deranged. Fox News was saying it. No, the Antifa. It's like, for fuck's sake. As one of those little things, and I think it's a lost fucking battle, and it has been lost for a while. But just the idea that there's an objective standard for reality, and yes, there are things we don't know. There are things that happen behind closed doors in secret. Powerful figures collude. They do, and not always in earth-shakingly malicious ways. Far more often in absolutely petty ways, self-enrichment and that sort of shit. But this outright denial of objectively observable reality, and people who just deny reality being given a platform, being taken seriously, it's just, what in the actual fuck is going on? If we could get a little bit closer, that's like the first challenge, to move back towards something that approaches an objective agreement of what is reality. And I don't even mean like, okay, racists say horrible things about other races that I believe are not true. I'm not even talking about that. I'm not even talking about making ignorant bigots see a bit better reality and things like that. I mean, simple, observable stuff, the way Trump's never stopped lying, like, the size of the crowd at his inauguration, who the crowd was storming the Capitol today. The changing climate would be nice too, to be accepted as objective reality. But it just really mundane shit where people will say something that is obviously not true, that you can comprehensively prove is not true, and they cannot provide anything to support the ridiculous shit they're saying. But it's just, I have alternative facts. And it's like, what? If that could go away. And that's probably stupid, pie in the sky, wishful thinking. Right? I don't know if this conspiracy theory was pre-prepared. It's just dumb as hell. Yeah. Scribble, see, here's the funny thing, what you say there. For some people, being anti-establishment is more important than being rational or skeptical. The weird thing about the Trumpelos to me is he's the establishment. He is absolutely the establishment. He just behaves differently to the rest of the establishment. He pisses off the people that they want to piss off, and so they ignore all the reality that Trump is obviously the establishment, that Trump obviously despises them and thinks they're fucking morons, and he's taking them for a ride and just taking their money. It's so obvious, but it conforms to their worldview. So they will ignore everything that contradicts their worldview because Trump says things that they want someone to say, mostly because they are deeply fucking horrible people. All this reach across the aisle. You've got to give them some support. You've got to give some ground. Fuck those people. Fuck them in the fucking neck. They are the worst fucking people on the planet. They are the equal of any other gross, abusive, violent extremist in the world. They are absolutely shit. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah. And it was very funny today when the social media platforms temporarily locked Trump's accounts because they finally decided he was too dangerous. Be fun to see if they unlock them, because they may not. God, could you imagine how much he'd be losing his shit? Because how that was his lifeline to just act really fucking weird at 2 and 3 in the morning. Jesus, how much must that be doing his head in right now? Oh, Raiders were Trump. I didn't think Trump supporters were dressing like Antifa. And then again, maybe you saw some that I didn't see. I don't want to really get into it. And has he been taking secret classes how to be a tyrant from some of his despot buddies? No, he just talks to them on the phone, and he's so empty, and he's so pliable. They were just real manipulators, like Putin could play an empty narcissist like Trump. They play him like a fiddle, and other ones who are just fucking out there fascists like Bolsonaro in Brazil, Duterte in the Philippines. Although I don't think Trump's talked to Duterte lately. He likes Duterte because Duterte's another fucking violent right-wing extremist. But yes, it's I think he's definitely been manipulated by people, and he was definitely manipulated by some straight up Hitler worshipping white supremacists that controlled a lot of his messaging. A lot of it, I think, he was unaware of. And I think some of it he was aware of, and he was really into it. Yeah, I mean, fuck that noise. Awful people. Oh, Raiders dressed in full black. That's Black Bloc. Whereas, of course, Antifa is a way of looking at things. It's a loose alliance of people who are anti-fascist. Black Bloc is a technique. Again, Black Bloc is not a group. There's not the Black Bloc Club with a president and whatnot. It's not it's not a street gang like the Proud Boys that are actually officially structured like a gang with rules. Black Bloc is a tactic, a series of tactics. Thanks. Oh, look, Annette. God, so you typed that before I said it, but I saw it just after I said it. Yes, Black Bloc's a tactic. Raiders, that's the interesting thing. I am at a loss as to understand exactly how detached from reality Trump is, because for the longest time, I thought he was conscious of everything, and he was just pulling a massive scam. He still is. He's still pulling just this grift to take money from these fucking morons. But yeah, it's wild. But then you started hearing these stories, people saying Trump wandering around the White House muttering, "I won." So, because when you looked at the structure, everything was set up for him to pull this specific grift. It was like, okay, because of COVID, it was very sensible for people to do postal votes rather than vote in person. And the Democrats were advocating to people postal vote. Hi, Hairy Nick. So the Democrats were advocating for people to do postal votes, whereas Trump was saying, don't do postal votes, vote in person. And then Trump and his cronies also did a concerted effort to destroy the post office generally and the postal ballot system specifically. Didn't work, but they gave it a red hot go. They almost completely destroyed the postal service just to do this. And because what they knew is that on the day ballots would be counted first and postal votes would be counted last. So it would look like Trump was way ahead because a much bigger proportion of Trump voters voted in person and a much bigger proportion of Biden voters voted postally. That was all orchestrated. So because Trump didn't know if he was going to win or lose, but he knew I could do this thing that makes it look a lot like I'm winning. And then if I lose because of postal votes, then I'll just start saying, in fact, he started saying fake before the election even. That was all orchestrated. So Trump's behavior fit into that plan perfectly. But then people started saying, no, he believes it. He actually believes he won, which is scary. And yes, Ashoka, Trump would have crushed Biden like a fucking bug if COVID didn't happen. Biden is a fucking terrible candidate. He's awful, and Trump would have destroyed him publicly, would have absolutely demoralized left-leaning voters, and Trump's loony base would have lapped it up. I think Trump would have absolutely smashed Biden, but for COVID. And Annette, I think Angry Bunch is a good idea. I like that one, Abigail. I haven't heard that before. Why is it when Donald Trump and Melania make love, she's always on top? Because Donald can only fuck up. Nice. I like it. Let's do Angry Bunch. I haven't done this for a couple of days, and I've forgotten how to do it. Share the link. I heard that too, Raiders. Giuliani left a voicemail on the wrong person's number, which leaked. And he was saying some stupid shit about delay the vote by a day because we've got new evidence. Shieldsy, quick off the bat. Shieldsy, how's it going, mate? How you doing? Is your mic on?
Yeah. Just muting the stream.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh yeah, Harry Nick. I think the thing with what do we call it? Giuliani and Trump, the cult thing. When you set up a cult to fleece people, it's like, I'm going to set up a cult and they're all going to fall for it. But then you repeat your cult shit all the time and you start to believe it. There's heaps of psychological studies that show that. Nettie, hello.
It's a slow brainwash. What they do.
Yeah, a slow brainwash.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice top.
Thanks.
Are you alive, Nettie?
Oh, right. Well, I'm almost finished my trip. I got another milk clarified drink to try. Everyone's joining. Yay! Kelly and Lee. Hello. And hi, Chris.
Hi, Kelly. Hi, Lee. Hi, Fox. Hi, Adam. Hi.
All right. Abigail's been looking up the Trump jokes. What's the difference between Trump and a flying pig? The letter F. And I'm like, my brain's not working. I was going, from? What?
No.
I
had a problem with that too for a bit.
Yeah. A lying pig. I get it. I'm smart. I understand things. It's good.
Yeah, I totally do too.
Yeah. I know things. I can understand things. It's easy.
Holy fucking crap, what a day.
What a day. Yes.
Indeed.
I've been sitting and watching it for the 12 hours it went on.
Since I want to go,
it went on.
12 hours.
I was trying to absorb as much information in case something like this happened tonight.
Yeah, I tried not to look at it because I'm just like, I've had enough of this crap.
I have to admit, there was one bit that just made me laugh because I didn't understand it. When those idiots broke in, and there was that video of them walking between the velvet ropes on the carpet.
Oh, yeah.
Like they broke in, but then they stayed on the marked pathway as they walked through. I thought that was
And then
really
they're
fun.
purposely making it wider so everyone could fit through the velvet ropes.
That's
That-
that's really
It was
human. Though.
weird.
That's so human. People do that.
And then the idiot
Kristen
who's
doesn't
walking
wanna-
with the lecture thing on his shoulder
The lectern.
towards the end. Yeah. Oh god, what an idiot!
That
Oh, shit.
that guy dressed like Jamiroquai, like some kind of patriotic Jamiroquai.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a QAnon guy. Yeah,
QAnon shaman, that's what they're calling him.
yeah.
Oh,
He's
no.
just not in touch with reality, that guy. At least he kind of looked fun, but you know.
Yeah, he's
Really?
so
Someone
memeable.
Really, someone associated with QAnon is not entirely there in the head. Really?
I'm not surprised.
Turn this up a bit.
Neither am I. That's why I'm being sarcastic.
Been making lots of magic ice so I can use up the old magic ice. Look at the weird shape. We were talking about sublimation last night. Look at the weird shape this one's gone. Don't know if you can even.
Oh my god!
Oh, there we go.
Like an elephant.
Interesting.
It's like an elephant's foot. It's just started to get real. Anyway, so I've made some fresh stuff. So I'm going to use that up. Where's my... Oh, excuse me. Oh. I know, right? So, I got a new...
How are you going on the contest, Angry? You know,
Which one?
The cocktail contest.
Oh, I didn't make the final, I don't think. I didn't have enough
Aw.
votes, but that's okay. It's kind of fun to
Because it
do
was
it.
yummy.
Yeah. Should have given you some to take with you, actually.
Yeah, because I like
Yeah.
a coffee cocktail. Yeah, but I'm supposed to go on the... I got my light and easy delivered today. So I'm supposed to be on the wagon, but I also got my Unico stuff.
I saw
delivered.
the picture, yeah.
Yeah.
So you had to give him a test run.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And when I do it with the proportions that they recommend, it tastes
Yeah.
kind of salty and a bit weird. I didn't
Oh, yeah.
really like it. So I doubled the sweet stuff, like the liqueurs,
Yeah.
and now it is acceptable. But I'm getting pretty fuzzy around the edges. Pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, this is. Who remembers on what night was it? I made the Elvis one with the burning banana.
Saturday? Sunday?
I don't remember that one.
But you know, I did. I set a banana on fire and everything. So
That's awesome.
Monday. It
yeah.
was Monday.
Was it Monday? Yeah.
Monday.
But this is the milk clarified version of that. So this has got a lot of rum in it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was 3 nights ago. It was Thursday night.
Yeah.
Lots of chicklets.
Oh my god, it smells nice. But pineapple and coconut in a clarified cocktail smell so good. Yeah, because that's my little trick. Because the coconut cream that's actually in the cocktail, that's a natural sort of clarifying agent. There's two reasons why. If you ever get a tiki drink that has or any cocktail that has cream or coconut milk in it, they'll shake it really hard because the first thing that does when it hits other ingredients is it separates, it curdles. So they've got to shake it real hard to get it to mix, so it looks like a nice foamy milkshake. And it's also why most tiki drinks are in those ceramic mugs rather than glasses, because the rums and fruit juices usually just make like a murky brown drink that's not very visually appealing. So it would look terrible in a glass. So they put it in a thing with lots of ice. See, my magic invisible ice. I'm such a fan of it. Anyway.
Well,
Ooh.
we
would
can't
make a
see
very
it
nice
because it's your
photo.
magic invisible ice.
Well, on that angle, we can see the edges of
A
it.
little bit.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's so good. Sorry, it's just like milk clarify. What you put rum and pineapple and coconut in a drink and do the clarification process. Fucking hell, it's good. Anyway,
I'm going to get another drink.
good idea, Abigail. Thank you for voting for my cocktail. And yeah, you too, Nettie. Thank you. I did not see Angela Merkel's response to Trump. I assume it was like, what a fucking idiot. Yeah, Chris, I'm sorry. The COVID is not going to let you to move to Canada for quite a while. I don't see that sort of movement happening before 2022, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes, I know we were all psychologically saying 2020's over. I would hate to break it to you, particularly from a COVID perspective. 2021 is going to be so much worse.
Yeah.
It'd be the start of the recovery, but it's going to hit rock bottom before then. The next couple of months are going to be fucking disastrous. Or
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I desperately hope I'm wrong.
Queensland's got a new case.
Oh yes, with the supposed more infectious strain. Not even sure I believe that's a thing, but whatevs.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if I'll be going back to uni this semester.
Me too.
Could you?
Yeah, well, I know. Sorry, Kelly, go.
Yeah, last semester my teachers were too concerned to go back. And so now that there's actually cases around, well, a case at least, it just, it's possible I won't be.
Yeah, I think
we had to do it via Zoom.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think they're pretty keen to have unis and schools go back, but being a bit cautious and watching things. Same as in Victoria, they had this whole plan under pressure from businesses in the CBD. And it was like, okay, we're now saying private companies should get 50% of their staff back in the city, and public service will look at 25%. And just with these few cases we're getting now, they go, actually, we're just going to pause that. We're not going to pressure anyone to go back to work in the CBD until we're confident it's under control. Oh, look, we're wondering, would we get another stupid Trump hole fuckhead? The woman who was shot was not. I'm not saying she deserved to be shot by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know what the circumstances were, but it was that thing where they were trying to break through the door, and all those guys were holding guns at the door and said, "You all probably should fuck off," and she got shot. In a perfect world, she would not have got shot. Absolutely.
But in a perfect world, she wouldn't be trying to break down the door.
Oh, even in a decent world, these.
Did you see the footage of her just after she was shot?
No.
Sorry?
I saw footage of her just after she was shot, and she was looking like a dead girl.
That's not easy to survive without immediate medical attention. And by immediate, I mean right there and then. The medic needs to already be on scene.
I'm really curious about the 3 other people.
I think they had heart attacks.
Yeah,
or it might have been respiratory failure.
I feel sorry for the police officer who might lose his eyesight in one of his eyes as well.
There was a policeman who lost his eyesight, was there?
Sorry, I'm just going to tell someone why they're a worthless fucking piece of shit before I kick them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Putting in quotes, I'm a revolutionary. Someone got doing what I want to do and get killed. Yeah, be given. You're saying you can't make that shit up. You are literally making that shit up, you inbred, shit-eating fuckwit. I didn't say that. Nobody said that. You made that up. You made that up. Then you said, you can't make this shit up. You made it up, you pathetic fucking worthless loser. You have no connection to reality. You are worthless, pathetic scum. Humanity would be so much better off with people like you not existing. You're worthless, you're garbage, you're pathetic, and you're fucking gone. Okay, I just got that out of my system.
Oh, you were channeling Angry Aussie right there.
Angry.
Yeah.
Breathe, woman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Harry, Nick, that's what I heard. Someone accidentally tased themselves and went into cardiac arrest. The various bits of pepper spray and tear gas could have given people respiratory trouble as well. But, yeah, apparently three people because of medical problems died.
How does one accidentally tase themselves?
Step 1, be stupid as fuck. Okay?
Step 2, fall
It
over.
follows on from there.
Although I'm picturing a projectile taser, the one that shoots at the prongs, not...
No, those little prong ones. I think it was one of those prong ones. Like, I think it's working.
Okay, that's what you accidentally do. I'm thinking one of the, like what cops have, the projectile tasers.
I think individuals in America tend not to get them because they're single use, whereas if you have the prod ones, you can use it repeatedly.
In Adelaide, I saw someone with a taser on the train. I just immediately got up and went on to the other end of the train.
Yeah, super illegal in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, no, Abigail, I know some people actually do have electroshock kinks, but I think this person actually accidentally tased themselves and down they went.
Yeah.
Raiders, good question. How is the Capitol so easy to breach? It had to do with them not applying the same sort of force that they regularly apply to non-violent protesters.
They bloody let them in. The cops
They
let them
literally
in.
let them in.
Well, they were expecting Trump to rev them up and make them all.
Yes, they were. The whole world was expecting that.
Yeah.
Anyone who was expecting it wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were outright saying they were going to do this.
No, they knew what was going on because, friend of a friend thing. They were talking. I read a post by a friend of a friend whose sister is a congresswoman, and she was hiding in a room somewhere with her mates. And she said, you could tell that the protesters knew where they were going. So-called protesters, insurgents, whatever you want to call them. We haven't got a name for them yet, have we?
Dickheads.
Who came later had no idea. They sent in the rookies, it seems. They had no idea where they were going. Apparently, it's a bit of a rabbit warren down there and quite confusing.
It is.
The guys who got in knew where they were going. So it was an inside job, according to her.
Well, it's the old joke of, where were those riot cops that attacked all the Black Lives Matter protesters? So, where's Miley Cyrus when Hannah Montana's on stage? I mean,
It was interesting how they've been saying that, like, all the selfies that the police were taking with the rioters as they were letting them in.
Yep.
But yeah.
There was a picture of all these guys scaling the wall. I'm sure you've all seen it on ABC News today. Scaling that wall, and it's like, if those guys were black or leftists, they would have been mowed down.
Yes, absolutely. And that's not hyperbole. We have dozens of examples over the past year of riot cops just firing tear gas and impact munitions on absolutely non-violent protesters who weren't trying to break into the Capitol building, protesters who were literally just standing.
Yeah.
Abigail, good. You've been asleep all day. You're better for it if you don't know what we're talking about. I know, and I
Don't turn TV on.
Unfortunately,
I wake up to this shit. I wake up, I've got my laptop next to my bed, and I just go bang and wake it up, and then click ABC News, and this is what wakes me up, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are those people doing in the white building there? That
The white building.
What?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then of course I race around
I've
the
been
house
getting
yelling at
news
the kids to
alerts
wake up
all
and come
day.
look at this. Sorry.
I've been getting news alerts on my phone because I've got the ABC app.
Oh, God,
So
yeah.
I get alerts.
Mm.
So
Probably
yeah,
time
that's
to
good.
switch.
That's good app. The ABC. The ABC alerts.
Time to switch notifications off. You'll never get any peace. Yeah, I woke up early this morning and just happened to turn TV on, and it had been on BBC News, and just to turn it on and went, "What the fuck?" Okay, well, okay.
Yeah, I woke up Ali, and she was like, "What? No, why are you yelling at me?" Because I was overexcited.
Yes. Well, pretty exciting stuff.
I was very
Looks
excited
like my
about
time has come to
Georgia.
go, so I better see you all later, and Happy New Year.
Okay.
Yeah, that
for when
works.
it was.
Smiley.
See you, Lee. Bye.
See you, buddy.
Actually, because I'm always looking at calendars. Of course, not everyone keeps the same calendar, and I've been seeing all these fun things over the last week. You know, it's Russian Christmas, it's the Orthodox Christmas, it's Louis Vuitton. How are you, buddy?
Can you hear me?
And there was Hogmanay in Scotland, which is New Year's that goes for several days, which is fun. So the reasons to celebrate didn't stop until this week. So you can still say New Year's. People have different New Years.
Yeah, the Muslim New Year's is like in August or something.
Yeah, it's quite hard to keep track of.
Yeah.
Ramadan does move a lot. At one 2019, 2020, Ramadan was actually over Christmas, New Year's.
Yes, and if I remember rightly, that was a year that that was a year where Hanukkah and Christmas and Ramadan were all at the same time.
Yeah, all three.
Crazy.
It's interesting.
Across, yeah.
Hey, Bex. Sorry, you shouldn't be seeing ads. I don't have ads on my channel, unless you're saying hello to Big Bad Ads. Abigail, it's almost as if calendars are somewhat arbitrary. You mean they aren't just an absolute truth handed down by God? I'm shocked.
I mean,
Oh,
calendars aren't naturally
My calendar is a volume of truth handed down from somebody. Assholes.
Yep. What's it called?
Quotable assholes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't look now, but there's one too many in this room, and I think it's you.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's got a different quote each day, and they're pretty great.
Safi, your birthday's on Good Friday this year. My birthday is sometimes on Easter Sunday. Although the Pope was talking about fixing Easter Sunday, because it's all got to do with the lunar cycles when Easter is, and the Pope was kind of saying that's dumb as hell. Why don't we just make it the first weekend in April? You know, just from now on, it's the first weekend in April.
Yeah, I sadly celebrate my birthday 2 days before Biden takes power.
Oh, well. That's more
I wish it was after.
There's worse people to have your birthday around. I mean, around the 4th of April.
What's on the 4th of April?
Hitler's birthday.
No,
That's when my Nana has her birthday.
420, 4th of April.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry? No.
My Nana has a birthday on the same day as Hitler.
The 20... What did I say?
You said the 4th.
4th of April?
I hang around Americans too much.
Yeah. No. So just because mine's the 19th.
Know what I meant though? I meant like the
I didn't
20th
know
of
what you
April is
meant.
what I meant. When I said it, you worked it out.
I only know that because my birthday's the 19th, so I've been painfully conscious of Hitler's birthday's the next day. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as I said,
Hi, Bex. Yeah.
Birthdays.
So yeah, but I remember that line from a Woody Allen movie. He's complaining to his wife, we haven't had sex since April 20th. I remember because it was on Hitler's birthday.
Worst days to have sex. Wait,
What?
Yeah, it's a Woody Allen line.
Oh,
Speaking of bad people, not quite as bad as Hitler, but very creepy guy.
There's very few people that are as bad as him. Let's be real.
he was too friendly.
Oh,
Who, Hitler or Woody Allen?
Yeah. Oh, Woody, no, Hitler. Sorry.
Oops.
I'm on the third.
Oh, explains everything.
There's a good sort of Tumblr meme about Hitler, and because some casual photos of Hitler, and he's like playing with a dog or patting a little kid on the head, and there's this great one where he's wearing lederhosen, and he tried to get the photos destroyed because he thought he looked stupid in lederhosen. But so someone posted this picture of like Hitler having a picnic and playing with a dog, and someone's saying like, these pictures really weird me out because that's not how I picture a monster. And they go, no, this is the old saying, the banality of evil. Do you think Hitler just sat in a room with, dramatic underlighting, rubbing his hands together going, Jews? And the person said, kind of. Yeah, that's kind of how I picture Hitler. It's like,
Hitler, I started listening to Behind the Bastards. That's been fun.
Yes.
I've only listened to like a couple of episodes so far, but like he had a flatulence problem and was a fan of YA novels.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
romance. We love romance.
He just would just eat sweets and get high all the time.
Yeah. There's some very funny behind the
coming in hot now.
He was a speed freak.
Yeah.
That could explain quite a bit.
He actually
the whole German army was, yeah.
Yeah, he made his soldiers do it because he thought they made him stronger. And it did, among other things, and they lost, so...
Yeah, and his doctor would actively test stuff on him.
Yeah.
Now Abigail is making me...
And he was vegetarian. You know what? He sounds an awful lot like goths. I hate to say it.
I have to check. Was he though?
Vegetarian, speed
he was
free.
definitely vegetarian.
He was really into black
he
uniforms.
was.
Okay, I just googled it. That's how come I confirmed it.
And he was not
some questionable sexual kinks.
just vegetarian.
I mean, it's Hitler. Everything.
Yeah, and that's again Behind the Bastards has some good ones about Hitler's personal life. And it's fucked up. It is actually. That was a troubled guy.
Okay, there's been a statement from Donald Trump. He posted, even thought I totally disagree with this outcome of the election and the fact bear me out. Nevertheless, there'll be an orderly transition on the 20th of January.
They said there was a Secret Serviceman's gun to his back.
What? Who?
Trump. Do you think someone put his balls in a clamp and said,
"Yeah, come on,
you fucking big clown"?
No, he didn't do that.
No. Now you're making me look this up.
Come on, a Secret Serviceman came and put their hand on his shoulder and said, "Mr. President, we're going to need you to stop all this."
That is as honest as his what was it? When he the vow that he made when he entered office, about like that.
Yeah,
Shooties
swear to protect America from enemies, domestic and foreign. Yeah,
yeah, exactly that thing.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah,
Kirsten.
They're not enemies, they're my friends.
Yeah, sorry. The worst year ever pod today was apparently hilarious and depressing. I'll have to listen to it tomorrow. Oh yeah. The whole thing. You can tell certain wording of Trump statements when they're clear, and tweets when they're clearly not written by him, and because they're coherent. And you just go, yeah, Trump didn't write that. No.
Trump is a retweeter as well, so you know when he's online.
Yes.
The one, they're usually grammatically correct.
Yeah, that's a giveaway. Yeah, yeah.
Now, as as somebody from a younger generation who's been following today's events pretty much ever since I woke up at about 6:30 this morning, I wanted to come in and weigh in about basically everything that I've seen and all the events that have taken place, all the actors that have been on site. It's been a very interesting day as all the events have unfolded. Anybody that had any kind of, delusion at this point that we're dealing with anything other than mask-off fascism, you really need to pull your socks up.
Yeah.
I found it a bit, ironic almost that Bush put out a statement giving him shit.
Yeah.
From one warmonger to another.
Yeah, Bush is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Although you're bad when Bush calls you out.
George Bush is Republican establishment.
Yes.
He's not part of he's not part of right-wing populism. George Bush is one of those people like Mike Pence that's only in it for the money. He wants he wants business as usual. He doesn't like all this stuff.
Yeah, but he laid down some infrastructure.
Yeah.
And he laid down he played with populism. He sure did.
Yeah. Well, he had to ride he had to ride that 9/11 wave. If he didn't, if he pushed back against that, then they would have thrown him out of. He would have never got a second term. So I get what you mean. He would have had to have ridden. He would have had to have ridden some of that.
For him, somebody should have thrown him out.
Hindsight is 2020.
Someone worse.
Someone should have thrown out Obama.
Well, again, the establishment is the establishment, and they all do seriously fucked up things. When it comes down to it, if someone says, you know what, the most powerful country in the world, the most dominant economy in the world, the biggest military, the biggest nuclear arsenal, out of everyone on the planet, I'm the best person to be in charge of that. Like, there's something fucking wrong with you if you think that, honestly. If you think you are the single best person, there's something wrong in your fucking head.
What if I think I'm the worst? Does that mean I should run?
Yeah, honestly.
Well,
I think there's a Voltaire quote about it. Like the person who wants the job shouldn't be allowed to have it, and the person who doesn't want the job should have it.
Yeah,
but I don't want the job. I'm not American, so I can't have it.
Yeah. Actually, I want to point out, Mr. Grant Gregory did make a really interesting point, and I was somewhat fascinated by that too, with all the rioters, whatever we want to call them, in the Capitol, and they didn't destroy any of the statues. They did crash some offices. And again, I come back to, there was that hilarious visual of them after breaking in, walking between the red velvet ropes on the guided pathway. That I found that fucking hilarious. Just visually, that was hilarious. But
that is cute. But, humans do that sort of thing, and especially, ones that really do want to see themselves as the good guys, and they do want to see themselves as the good guys. They've been grifted.
They're out here wearing Nazi symbols.
Yep, they sure are.
Yeah, but
who sees themselves as the bad guy?
Nazis, sorry? Kelly, what did you say?
Who sees themselves as the bad guy?
Well, no one
Very
sees
few
themselves
people.
as the bad guy. Exactly, Kelly. No one does.
Yeah, exactly.
They see themselves as the good guy. They see themselves as, doing the right thing. The thing is,
acting the right way.
They're fucking not. They're really not. And it's hard to them because they just can't. They're very inflexible mentally.
Yep.
Wait, Angry, is this guy a troll?
I see, with that, I can't tell because that's such a dumb thing to say. I can't tell if he's mocking the people who say that or if he's actually that stupid. and he's saying,
Troll or
that's-
don't.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
well,
no,
we'll-
Okay, okay.
Oh, Mango,
before you ban him,
dude.
before you ban
Oh.
him,
yeah,
before you okay,
Mango,
man guy dude. So if you go and look at any of the videos or the pictures or the streams of all the people that were on site, there was numerous far right and alt right actors on scene. For example, Baked Alaska, who was one of the
Yes.
organizers of the Charlottesville rally in 2016, the far right rally that led to the death of one woman, which had members including the Ku Klux Klan, the Proud Boys, and other far-right organizations attend. Nicholas Fuentes was also there, the person who runs the America First streaming channel, and both of them have been obviously banned from Twitch and YouTube, so they have to stream on G Live. Nicholas Fuentes is the founder of the Groyper Movement, a far-right, alt-right Nazi organization.
Yeah.
And
they weren't wearing masks. We could see their faces. It was always
more
really
than
well
that.
known.
They were streaming their faces live on the internet, providing evidence for the police to own the
They
list.
said they would do this.
So
They
that
told
dude,
us.
None of them were like. There was no masks of any kind being worn.
It was brilliant.
That dude
If there was
who
ever a
was
time to be masked
in that
on.
woman's... Oh, what's it? Nancy Pelosi. Okay. The dude who was
Pelosi.
resting his feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk and leaving little messages for her. You
That
know,
was
we
pretty
won't
cool.
back down.
What
he
about the
gets
person who
home.
stole mail from Nancy Pelosi and said he
That was based
Then
Alaska.
he gets home and then he rings up some bloody news station and goes, "Oh, you know, I was just pushed in there."
Yeah.
and he put a quarter on her desk and took some of her
Steal
mail.
her mail. Yes, you did steal her mail.
Based Alaska
Yeah.
was the one that stole her mail. Oh no, wait, that guy stole mail as well. But like Based Alaska, like took photos of Nancy Pelosi's mail that he stole and put it online.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way he's not going to jail.
No way.
They're going to be surprised.
Off, you know, on national
This
TV.
is the thing. This
Like,
is the
you know, TV
incompetence of
station.
right-wing ideology. They can't help themselves. There's photos of people posing in the Senate chamber, like taking selfies.
Yeah.
They think it's all just a meme.
Yeah.
Like the Secret Service don't treat this as a joke. These people will be arrested.
They're going to be surprised when the feds kick in their door at 3 in the morning.
Like, they just think, oh, well, like Daddy Trump is going to protect us. No,
It's just like,
I'm sorry.
they're
he's on the
all
way
getting
out.
arrested.
It's only 13 days of having Daddy Trump. Only
If
13
that,
more days.
like, Pence is going to be
no more
president.
protection.
I'm calling it now. Pence will be made president.
Who knows? There are rumors
Yeah,
that
did you
Republicans are
Did you see
pushing
this,
that.
the Senate meeting tonight? When Pence rocked up, he had an absolute shit-eating grin on his face underneath his mask. You could tell.
Yeah.
Yep.
He knew, like, this is a
I
man that beneath
saw
that
that.
mask, he is just absolutely beaming because he knows for the next 13 days he's going to be president.
there are rumors that he's on board with it. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, well, did you hear that Pence has unfollowed Trump from Twitter?
Oh, I put that, and that was a fake account. I actually fell for that. It wasn't actually my Pence's
no.
Twitter account.
He's still following.
It was a fake one.
What
I
a
fell for
liar,
that.
dude.
Yeah.
Pence, what a
Damn.
Weasley little liar.
I even double checked that one.
Still
Okay.
lying.
I fact checked it.
Sorry, I just
Rick
need Abigail. Sorry, I just need to go. I need to know if you're joking or if you have genuinely stayed away from any media all day.
She's blatantly dangerous. all day.
Yes,
She doesn't
Trump
know.
supporters broke into the Capitol building and broke into the floor of the Senate and a whole bunch of congressional officers, including Nancy Pelosi's, and they all did it while not wearing masks and taking photos and video. And they are all going to be fucking arrested.
Selfie.
They were met with
stole
like
China?
little to no met with little to no police resistance.
Like I said,
Bear in
Oh,
mind,
no.
there was
that's-
there was no riot gear, there was no tear gas, there was no rubber bullets, there was a little bit of mace, and then in some sections, the police just opened the barriers and let them walk right in.
Hashtag white privilege.
Abigail.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't believe you missed such a big day.
gotta dug out quickly.
What I think those cops were doing, the ones who were at that barrier, is they were they had nothing, and they were just trying to stop that crowd. And at a certain point, they went, "We just can't." And I think it looked like they were letting them in, but they were like,
one of those cops has a
and they were
sidearm.
taking the barriers away in the thought that they wouldn't use the barriers as battering ram. But they just gave up. They just walked away.
Every one of those cops has a sidearm on their hip.
But but they didn't want to use it. They didn't want to use it.
Reminder that 84% of cops voted for Trump.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The people that stormed the building are the same people wearing uniforms.
I like the Secret Service at the door of the Senate thing, holding
that was
their
the DC police
at them.
Yeah, I think they're the ones who shot the woman who died. They were all back at the door, and they were like, "For real, I am going to shoot." And he just went, "Fuck it, bang!" And
fuck around and find out.
Yeah, they had but the police have a duty to protect and serve, and
Is that what they're doing?
and like there was no way they could possibly have had enough protection in the Capitol building to be able to protect the people in that building. So they should have called for more reinforcements rather than let them in if that was the issue.
I wonder if they could have mustered up that protection if the protesters had been black.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we've seen the answer to that is yes. The answer to that is yes.
Those American police forces have basically repurposed.
American police forces or just police forces?
They have everything they could ever possibly want. Santa comes many times a year for their police forces.
Ex-military gear.
Yes. Yeah, that's where they sell it all.
Hold on. Sorry. Like, if I could just interrupt. Suffer in chat. I don't think that could happen in Canberra. Get with the program. We are in a democratic recession. Far-right populism is spreading across the globe. India, Brazil, the UK, Hungary, Poland, America, Australia. You absolutely better believe that this could happen in Canberra. Wake up, liberal. UK, Hungary.
Oh, no. He's not a liberal. But
I don't mean liberal in the Australian sense. I mean like liberals in like classical liberal.
Yeah.
I know liberal is an insult in my house.
Being a liberal is pretty cringe. A liberal is somebody that's like left of the center, but is not a leftist.
The Liberal Party in Australia
like
really should rebrand itself as neoliberal.
Or just a Conservative Party.
Yeah.
I
but
find
neoliberal is more in line with what they want.
When I say liberal, I mean like left of center. So somebody who's like socially progressive
what
is
I mean
not economically progressive. Not like liberalism like Australian conservative.
Yeah, but the Liberal Party in Australia wants to give the market control of itself. They want it to be a free market. So yeah, that's what I was sort of getting towards with the whole neoliberal thing.
Big L liberal and small L liberal.
Yeah, reminder that it was the Labor Party that broke our unions.
Yes, the Labor Party are neoliberal.
I was so mad at them in the 90s. I was so angry with the Labor Party in the 90s.
Yeah.
And the noughties. And the teens.
And now. Yeah.
And now. Yeah. But I started being angry with them in the 90s.
Yeah, which was an appropriate time. Say hello to Aussie ASMR and Strictly Sega and Nintendo Lunchbox, who just joined us, or just were in chat.
But yeah, as I was saying, the American military has been selling their gear, stock gear and whatnot, to police departments all over America for decades now.
Yeah,
that's why they have such sophisticated, urban thingy vehicles, which are basically, assault vehicles, whatever. They're basically tanks, but they look. But
absolutely.
The tank with the cannon taken off.
So where was the water cannon?
Exactly.
Oh, they were there. The water cannons were there. I watched them roll in. They rolled in. They just
I
didn't
wasn't
do
there
it.
when I woke up, and they were there for some analysts.
If only,
So
like,
where's your
what was
water
the
tank?
difference
Where
between
the
the
cannons?
protesters out there today and those that were there in June? Like, is there some key distinction between?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Like, I'm racking my brains, but I can't think. What was the difference between the summer protesters and those there today? Like, surely there's some a visual aspect of the individual people.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to sound racist, but surely it wasn't skin color. Like, no.
Yeah. It's kind of like Kirsten.
I wouldn't want to target white people or anything.
Yeah. It's almost as if some of those who join forces are the same as those who burn crosses.
I mean, some of those that work.
Oh, did you see the cross?
Yes, they raised that. I was waiting for them to set that on fire. I was waiting for them to set that on fire.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the light show.
Yeah. Oh God. But they also set up a noose. They set up a gallows at the front.
Really?
Very rudimentary. You couldn't actually hang anyone with it, but it was symbolic. It was a threat.
Yeah.
Hey, when Antifa sets up a guillotine, you know that shit is ready to go.
Yeah.
That ain't just for look. You know that's ready to use.
Speaking off, people have been downloading blueprints how to build your own guillotine at home.
Well,
and you can make a really good one for $600. Coincidentally, they all got those $600 checks.
Apparently, it costs less than $600, and apparently, you still have enough money left over to take yourself out for dinner afterwards.
Which is, you'd want to do that. You'd want to do that.
Absolutely. Celebratory toast.
It's although I know some people who are actual activists, they get really, and people who know their history get uncomfortable when you joke about guillotines because they go, no, history tells us that people actually, you're joking about it, but people actually really do it, and it gets out of control real fucking fast. And
yeah, of course, it's all a joke. We wouldn't really want to guillotine Nancy Pelosi in GTA Online. Of course, we just want to play a big game of Minecraft with the Republicans. Sorry, that's probably that's like a Zoomer joke. Like when you joke about someone, you say in Minecraft.
Yes.
Yes. So look, don't worry. I'm going to kill Donald Trump in Minecraft. I'm going to, dig the floor underneath Donald Trump so he falls down, falls into the lava underneath the map, and he drops all of his items and all of his gems in Minecraft.
And he's got a few.
I would in real life, I would never wish violence upon Donald Trump. No, of course. I'm just strictly talking in Minecraft, in the popular video game Minecraft.
Yeah. Violence to Trump. Violence to Trump.
Now I'm applying that to my Zoomer kids.
Yeah, so like when they piss you off, Harry, I'm going to slap you in Minecraft. And child protection can't do anything because you added in Minecraft.
Yeah.
I'm getting another one.
Yeah, strictly say we were talking about Matt Getz earlier saying the ridiculous line that it was Antifa people dressed up as Trump supporters. God. We actually had some chud come into the chat and say that, and it's just like, dude, I don't know who you're trying to fucking convince.
There's actual, like I just said, there's like neo-Nazi like YouTubers that were there showing their faces. Did Antifa orchestrate baked Alaska to be there? Come on!
Angry, when you ever get time, check that link I put up. There's a thing to was it a Proud Boy quitting live on Twitter.
Right.
Quit.
Yeah. He quit MAGA, but again, it's someone wearing a mask and stuff. So, and that's on Parler is the mind space, the safe space for people who mocked safe spaces, and some hardworking individuals got Parler accounts just so they could keep tabs on what insanity is happening on Parler. And apparently it's virtually unusable. Like it's just as an interface, it's just terrible. And
angry?
you just see the same shit over and over again. Like if anything you think sucks about Twitter and Facebook is apparently like 100 times worse on Parler. It's just pointless and shit. But it makes them feel good because they say whatever they want to say, and no one cares. Every time that you see people threatening, I'm just going to never use Facebook, I'm not going to use Twitter, I'm not going to use YouTube. Good. My life would be improved if people like you went away.
Look, deplatforming works.
So much evidence that if you cut off these people's cash streams, you strangle the poison that they've been putting out. I mean, way too late. Like YouTube in particular was grossly guilty of it, as was Facebook. Actually, YouTube monetized it. Facebook didn't really monetize it, but enabled it.
There's still people on YouTube that should be banned right now. There's still people on YouTube that are breaking the terms of service right now that should be banned.
Yeah, and instead they're going after other people who really don't matter.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like. Look, people like I said, like people like Baked Alaska and Nick Fuentes don't stream on Twitch or YouTube anymore because they've been banned. Yes, this is good because then the only people that are going to watch them are people that are already Nazis, so they're already looking for that content.
Yes.
But people can't, like, if they're not on those platforms of Twitch or YouTube, then people that are already sliding down the alt-right rabbit hole can't slide into their audience. Because if they're only just going to YouTube suggestions, they're never going to end up on Nick Fuentes' stream because he's way off on DLive.
Yeah.
As
opposed to
like
what YouTube was doing.
Stefan Molyneux has like zero presence online now after he got deplatformed from YouTube.
Yeah. Because like YouTube was literally, kids are going, I want to watch a Minecraft video. Ooh, what's this suggested one? Why all feminists deserve to die? Okay, I'm going to watch that now.
That's the thing. It starts with feminist cringe compilations.
All misogynists deserve to die. Fuck you.
Like that's where it starts, and then they end up like the end result in the pipeline is neo-Nazi.
Oh yeah.
But it starts with just those innocuous, like, oh, look how cringe these like pink-haired feminists are. Ha ha ha, aren't they cringe? That's where it starts, and it only goes further right from there. Then, what's that in the suggestion? Oh, it's a Ben Shapiro video. I'll watch that. What's in the suggestion now? Oh, it's a Tim Pool video. I'll watch that. What's that in the suggestions? It's a Steven Crowder video. I'll watch that. What's that in the suggestions? It's Stefan Molyneux video. White supremacist. I'll watch that. What's that in the suggestions? Oh, it's Nicholas Fuentes, America First video. A literal neo-Nazi. I'll watch that. That's how it works. That's how the alt-right pipeline works. Deplatforming these people works. If you cut them out, like the young, vulnerable youth can't get radicalized towards their ideology because they end up on these platforms like Parler, like BitChute, like DLive that nobody uses.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
This is yummy.
Which one's that?
Yummy.
The Tropic. I'm tempted to get both the Tropic and the Mando that they made.
Do it. Yeah, this is very yummy.
So, Kelly, I felt like you really wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was sort of like, about the, what you were saying before. Did you hear about the 3 banned words on Twitch? I don't want to say the words.
Yeah. Angry, are you streaming on Twitch? Don't say.
He is on Twitch, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I'm actually on Twitch. I can kill it, but no one watches on Twitch.
But they are very stupid and
concerning.
If you end the Twitch stream, we can say the words.
No, you
can't. Wait, because I really want to know this.
Can't.
What?
Can't at all.
Really?
Yeah, they will come after you.
Type it into chat, Kelly. Actually, type it into chat.
Yeah, type it into chat.
But he's not on stream. What? Are you serious?
Because if you type it into the YouTube chat, it won't show up on Twitch. Hey, good spirit.
People have been banned for stuff that they've done off Twitch.
I think that's the 3 words. I just put them in YouTube chat. Is that them?
It hasn't come up for me yet. Okay. Mr. Grant Gregory knows that as well. That would be okay. I could avoid saying the word that sounds like chimpanzee. Seriously, if you utter that common dictionary word, you can get taken off
Mhm.
Is that the 3? Was I right?
Oh, you put it in private chat, Kelly. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Jesus, I have said all. No, I haven't said the word that rhymes with chimpanzee, but I have said the other 2 words 1,000 times.
Wait, which is the word that rhymes with chimpanzee?
Well, it doesn't really rhyme with chimpanzee. It rhymes with chimp.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, a lot of
I'm just trying to
streamers that I watch
be really
use that term.
obscure.
Well, look, you can imagine.
I'll put it in the YouTube chat.
Like, you can imagine the kind of person that protested to people using these words.
Yeah. Oh no! I put it in Twitch.
Oh no!
Whoopsie daisy.
I put all 3 of them on Twitch.
Oh my god!
No. Okay.
You put it on all 3.
Quick, can you delete the
I
message?
put all 3 in Twitch chat.
Wait, is it? Oh no.
Epic fail!
This is the day that Anger is banned from Twitch.
Lord.
Oh my god! Oh, that's so funny. Like, no one watches me on Twitch. I don't give a shit. I was literally just multi-streaming to Twitch on the off chance someone wanted to watch it on Twitch.
Here goes Twitch. Twitch is going nuts at the moment.
Oh my god! Oh, sorry. That's just too funny.
Angry. On the private chat, there's a link.
They come in on the 22nd of January.
Oh, that comes in on the 22nd of January.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh,
So you might be
So
safe.
it's safe. Okay. Oh.
Okay, good.
Nixon's going to report me on Twitch.
He goes. I put the link up of the shooting. It's up on Twitter.
Sorry, you gave me a link. Let me see. Where was it?
Yeah,
It was,
I just found it online. She clearly jumped through the window.
Oh, wow. That's been shot.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what? There's more than that.
I maybe don't want to watch this, but anyway.
I've seen
Oh, crack. Yep. That was just bang. They're just in there saying, go away from the door, and then they just went bang.
Be careful about showing it on screen. You don't want to get...
No, there's no way. I'm not showing it on screen. No. But
I was
yes.
shocked when I finally found it. I went, oh my lord.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, those dudes inside I've seen the photo of 3 of them pointing their guns, and they're clearly saying, fuck off or I'll shoot you. And they didn't fuck off. And that is the most literal fuck around and find out.
And she was first through the window and... Yep.
Still, it kind... I don't know what the situation was. I don't know if those guys inside really thought they were going to breach the door, and so they were like, last warning, I'm about to fire a shot. Because it seems to be a single shot. Because that's one thing. You always hear of those cop shootings, and they fire like 40 shots at an unarmed black man. And you're like,
I've literally seen clips of a police officer empty 15 rounds into a person. It's sick.
It's
like they don't stop pulling the trigger until the magazine is empty.
Yeah, basically. Yes, good spirit. There are in fact 4 dead. 3. It'd be interesting to find out exactly what the medical condition was that killed the other 3.
Yeah,
There's the one who accidentally tased himself and had a heart attack. The other ones might have been heart attacks. It might have been respiratory distress. Who knows? But yeah,
It could have been,
that actually seems like it's literally a single
white
shot.
guys in an exciting environment. That's what it would have been.
That's interesting. Strictly Sage is saying the mug with blood on his hands said the Secret Service gave lots of water. Of course they did. Well, I think it's the DC police, not the... Again, people forget the Capitol has its own police force. There's a jail under the Capitol building. They can drag people off and put them in cells under the Capitol building. And it's happened to politicians in the past. It's happened to Congress people. They've been dragged out and locked in cells. Not for a while, I don't think, but it has happened. So I'm pretty sure that was decent police. But they clearly spend a bunch of time saying, "Get the fuck away from the door, or we'll actually fire."
Here's
and then
the
they
thing:
did.
they should never have gotten that far.
Mm.
They should have been stopped at the police line.
There should have been a proper actual.
If there was ever
barrier.
an illustration of white supremacy, it was these terrorists walking straight past the police into the building. There's photos. Like, I don't know if you've received the photo, Angry, but there is photos of the Lincoln Memorial during a BLM protest where there is armored, jackbooted thugs in about a line that's like 3 or 4 people
Three
deep,
or 4 lines
standing in front of that memorial. And here we have literal terrorists armed with guns, armed with bombs, mace, and wearing body armor, just walking straight past the police. If you ever had any doubt that those that wear uniforms also burn crosses, here it is.
Yeah, I suspect there was very strong orders from the Trump administration to not do the sort of show of force that they do for like Black Lives Matter meetings.
I honestly don't think it was even needed. Seriously, 84% of police voted for Trump. They did not need that order. If you go look at footage from from our winter, American summer, from back in June, of BLM protesters clashing with far right protesters. Watch the police movements. Whenever the police rock up at those movements, the police always turn their backs on the far right protesters and face the BLM protesters. Yeah, they never form a line that shows some kind of bipartisanship. The police have always been on side of these people. The police, the same people that are wearing those uniforms are out there wearing those MAGA hats. They are the same person. It just so happens to be that they were rostered on for that day. Yeah. Oh, the same thing. That happens in Australia. Multiple rallies in Australia. Cops high-fiving actual Nazis, taking selfies with Nazis. Cops with Nazi tattoos. There's been evidence multiple times of cops with Nazi tattoos. Cops doing, alt-right racist symbols, and it's just fun. Oh yeah, good spirit. Everyone's just sort of skated right past. They found pipe bombs. Actual IED. Not your friend.
That's all right. There's another tweet there of one of the mega supporters stealing Trump's bus.
Cool. Nice.
Stealing his bus.
I only saw a couple of things of what they were looting, but there was looting.
It's just
really? What was looted?
They took stuff out of offices.
But
anything was not nailed down, they took.
There was that weird QAnon guy, big bearded guy, walking off with a podium that had
that one. My kids said that.
Here's me stealing shit.
Wait,
hey,
that was a different guy. The QAnon guy was the guy that was dressed up like a bull.
Oh well, there were multiple QAnon guys, basically. Unsurprisingly.
Yeah, but that was QAnon.
Oh, that guy who was dressed up, it was more like Indian. I'm sorry, Native American dress. There's a photo of him on Twitter with what's the name of him? Giuliani.
Oh yeah,
right beside Giuliani. Yep.
Yeah.
And in case anyone had any doubt of the motives of these people, that same bull guy is covered in Nazi tattoos.
Oh yeah.
He is covered in Volk symbols. Volk as in the Germanic, Nordic mythology that the Nazis refer to. Like the Aryan race, the giants that walked the earth once. Yeah, he's covered in tattoos that reference that culture. These are the people threatening the American democracy.
Yeah.
And also, before we get off the subject of the police, I've just put a link in the YouTube chat to a podcast called Deep Fat Fried. It's an episode they did. It's an episode they did on 7 reasons why the police are not your friend. In case you had any doubts about the police, I'm taking my hands off the reins. Look, just watch their episode. You don't even listen to argument. Just look at the evidence.
I nearly got into a conversation with my dad about the police earlier in Australia, and then I was like, I think I've made a mistake. I'm running away now.
Yeah.
He would not have ended well.
No, that seems fair. I like Abigail's plan. Go to the a protest with lots of QAnon people and dress up as Q from Star Trek and hold a sign saying, "I didn't ask for this."
Hey, like,
Let's see you, Abigail.
how will it be? How will it be if in like inauguration day, Biden's sworn in, he puts his hand on the Bible, he holds up his other hand, he gives his little speech, and right at the end of this speech, he says, "The storm has come,"
Oh my god!
which is the QAnon signal.
Yes, he should do it just to fuck with them. He should do
I
it
wish
just to
he
fuck with
would. If I was in his position, I absolutely would. It's supposed to be like the signal for the QAnoners to rise up.
Yeah,
But they're expecting Trump to say it. But if it came from Biden, it'd be hilarious.
that would be very funny. That would be very funny. Safa, do I think this will
day
lead
that
to
would
the
go
second
down
US
in
Civil
history.
War?
I love this
No,
shit.
I do not think this will lead to a second US Civil War. I think it will lead to terrorism. I think it will lead to ongoing acts of terrorism. But that's just normal in the US. The domestic terrorists have been given free rein for a real long time, so long as they're white, and it's just going to continue. But possibly something as awful, like on the scale of like an Oklahoma bombing. At the very least, there's going to be just a cascade of mass shooter events.
More events like Christchurch.
Sorry?
More events like Christchurch.
Yes. There's going to be more mass shootings, and they will be targeted. And yeah, if I was Democratic politicians, I'd have good personal security. I'd be quite worried, honestly, because these people are fucking nuts, and they've got the guns.
Here's one. Ivanka Trump deletes tweet calling for mega rioters patriots.
Oh, a few of the Republicans are deleting tweets where they went a bit far. Like apparently some guy who got elected in West Virginia was actually in the group that charged the Capitol building. He's like a state legislator from West Virginia, and he's there masked off charging in to the Capitol. And I was like, I don't know what sort of laws they have in West Virginia. But,
there was one congresswoman, I can't remember what state she was from, but she was at the rally making a speech, and she said she was talking about one thing that Hitler didn't get wrong.
Oof. Oh, nothing good comes after that.
No.
Nothing good comes.
No.
I think the US shouldn't exist. I think the US should actually be broken up into multiple countries because it doesn't make sense as it stands.
Well, stop there.
I'll just give the whole North of America to Canada and be done with it.
Yeah, a few of the more progressive northern states could join with Canada, but America should probably be 3 or 4 countries. Historically, a collection of states the size of the US doesn't make sense. It's never sustained historically for as long as the US has sustained. Logically, the US should be broken up into about 4 countries.
It's the most confusing tax system in the world, America.
I got to say though, I'm kind of concerned what they would do if, like the southern states and stuff, would do if they were completely off the leash and their own country.
Well, it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good.
It wouldn't be.
It would be very violent. Again, like we're all fans of Behind the Bastards here. If you haven't listened to Robert Evans's sort of mini-series podcast called It Could Happen Here, where he just explores a range of plausible scenarios that could lead to either an actual civil war in the US or something that looks a lot like a civil war in the US. It's really worth listening to. I'm not saying like it's going to come true, but it's really good food for thought.
I think that's a little bit really behind though. Like I think it's already happening here. It's well and truly here. Like one thing about fascism which frustrates me so much is that people act like it needs to appear in its final form before it can be declared fascism. People like unless you're getting to the point of gas chambers and boot steps, people say like, "Oh, you're just like typical liberal, labels everybody a fascist."
Yeah.
No, there is a road to fascism. There are steps. And when you get to the point when you are legally removing the wombs of immigrant women, that's pretty close. Not to mention literal Nazis storming your Capitol building.
Yeah. Well, the title of that, It Could Happen Here, is a play on the title of a book that was published after World War II, where people speculated, could something like the rise of Hitler happen in the US? And the book's title was It Couldn't Happen Here. And so it's a play on that to say it could happen here. And Robert Evans has a good track record of investigative and activist journalism. A lot of conflict journalism. Has been in a lot of war zones around the world. And he's from Texas. He grew up in Texas in a conservative family with God and guns and all that sort of stuff. And he puts together really compelling cases of this is a series of events that could spiral out of control really quickly and get pretty hardcore. It's food for thought rather than a prediction. But it's worth a listen. Safa, World War II soldiers would rot in their graves if they saw this. Well, they'd probably be upset at the people flying Nazi flags, but let's get real. A bunch of them would not like women and gays and black people having the rights that they had. They'd probably be concerned about the actual Nazi flag flying, but the rest of the stuff, they'd be super pro-Trump.
That's the thing. Like there was not one
removal of the don't ask, don't tell.
There was not one Nazi flag today, like that I saw. There was no Nazi flags. There was no Ku Klux Klans.
There were Confederate flags.
There was lots of Confederate flags. But
there was a Nazi flag. I saw them put up not a swastika. They put up what was the symbol? What's the cross symbol?
The white cross.
Yeah,
like the white cross with the circle around it.
Yeah. They hung that, the ones who climbed up on that balcony, they hung that over the balcony. I saw the photo. So there was an actual Nazi sigil on a flag flying.
The Iron Cross.
I mean, there were Kekistan flags. Kekistan flags are basically the Nazi naval flag, slightly modified.
If you're flying a Kekistan flag, you're a Nazi.
Yeah, Abigail said the Iron Cross.
Yeah, but it was a Nazi symbol.
Yeah, like there was people that had America First flags. That's a Nazi dog whistle.
Hey, I saw a Georgia flag, like for the country.
For the country of Georgia. Wow, that's an interesting one. I guess they went onto a website for flags and ordered Georgia flag, and they got it, and they went, I guess this is a Georgia flag. Okay, off I go. I reckon that's what happened.
Oh, Jimmy's flag. To be fair, the flag of Georgia does look like it could be a Nazi symbol. It's it's one big cross, and in each space there's 4 smaller crosses. To be fair, it looks a lot like the Templar symbol. So to be fair, like
I think
doing that. Stop nicking cool fucking symbols from other people who don't agree with them. Fucking racists ruin everything.
They really do.
They really do. And homophobes and whatever, TERFs.
Like, it's kind of like how even the alt-right adopted Pepe the Frog, and the cartoonist who invented it is like, you fucking did what now? Like, what? Like, he hates them. The cartoonist who invented Pepe the Frog hates the oil. So at least he's managed to keep it off websites because he just sues them. He just sues them for copyright infringement. If any right-wing site uses Pepe imagery on their website, he just sues them. And
if you go into any like leftist streamer, like they have Pepe in as a chat emoji. Look, we're taking it back. We're not letting the right have him.
Yeah. Well, I've mentioned this before in the stream. My sister had this book from the 80s called Modern Primitives. It was people who are into body modification, piercings and scarification and tattoos. And there was a guy who had his name legally changed to swastika because he wanted to reclaim the swastika from the Nazis because it's the old Middle Eastern symbol. And he had 1,000 swastika tattoos on his body. And I was just like, good luck.
Not his best idea.
Yeah,
sorry, what?
Yeah, but that was early 90s.
Not a good idea. Like, I get what he's trying to do.
In the 80s, he was old. Like, he was a boomer. He was an old boomer. Even in the 80s, he was old. So he's dead.
I get what he was trying to do, but it probably didn't go down very well.
Could you imagine going to the beach and taking your shirt off and you've got 100 swastika tattoos on your body?
I'm a Buddhist.
Like, if he ever went to prison, he'd be pretty safe.
Yeah, it'd be good in prison. Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah.
It's really
frustrating. Bus stops. You just see them drawn in dirt and stuff, or even with pen or whatever.
Have you ever seen? I've seen people share on lines when Nazis are trying to do their offensive graffiti and they can't draw a swastika, and you get all these mutant twisted things. There's 5 or 6 of them in a row. They're clearly trying to do a swastika and they can't do it, and there are just these weird, and it's just like, you tried, Nazi, you tried. It's just more Corbro on Twitch. I haven't been banned on Twitch yet. That's a plus. Yes, the side on the beach. Someone with 50 swastika tattoos on their body would be quite a thing. And I mean, I live in the Jewish part of Melbourne. I'm just imagining it. This dude walking through Melbourne saying, "No, honestly, it's about peace and love." And I'm not sure you want to do it here, man. That's okay. Just get on to the weirdest shit. That's what I love about these live streams. People say, "What do you talk about?" And it's like, well, what don't we talk about? It's just like, we go everywhere. Funky. Oh, okay. Abigail's tired, not feeling social. That's a super good reason. I wasn't sure how long I'd last because I wasn't on last night because I got shit going. Oh, AZ did message me yesterday. He wanted to come on the stream for 5 minutes and say he's still alive. And I said, I'm not actually doing a stream. And he went, "Oh, I'm still alive." And I went, well, that's a huge positive. So, and then I didn't hear from him today. But because should I tell you, guess who has to have a colonoscopy?
I hope you're gentle with you.
Because once you're over 50, the government gets super interested in your poo. I've made jokes about this before. And I dutifully, around Christmas, submitted my sample, and they came back and said, "Oh, there are and the word was literally fecal occult blood, like OCCULT. So the devil is in my butt, is what they're saying. And so, of course, I'm mildly freaked out.
I'm sorry.
I'm mildly freaked out because my bowel cancer screening test showed something up, and they said, "Oh, you should get a colonoscopy now." And I was freaking out a bit, but then, wait, I actually remember when I did the test, I was a little bit constipated. I don't know if anyone else has had this thing where you wipe your butt and go, "Well, that's a lot of blood on my toilet paper. That's not good." Where you really have to. And so I almost didn't send the sample in because I was wondering, man, is that going to cause a problem with the sample? And I sent it in anyway, and they said there's microscopic traces of blood, so that means you should have a colonoscopy. And I'm like, so it lasts for a day or so. That's why I wasn't on last night, because for like a day or so, I was just freaking the fuck out. Like, I'm old enough to just think about dying every day anyway. So it's just, and then you get this screening test come back, and it's just like, fuck. And then I went, oh, wait, I almost didn't send this back because I was a little bit constipated at the time. I thought, I wonder if that's going to affect the test. And I think it did. So just for a hoot, I'm going to have next week probably my first ever colonoscopy. I could live tweet it. I could go on. Oh, it's gone in. Oh, woo! Seriously, if they let me, I might take my phone and actually live stream, like just on my face, just me going,
That said, it's like there are people doing worse things.
Yeah. So, but what's her name in America? Katie Couric. She actually broadcast her colonoscopy on like Good Morning America. So they actually did it. She was like lying down and there was a screen on, but because of course the colonoscopy has a little fiber optic camera on it, and the split screen is the view of her colon as the camera worked its way through. I could do that. I could absolutely do that. No, Abigail, I don't think it's a general.
No. Oh, sorry.
I need to talk to AD because AD had colonoscopies. He's done the spit roast. He's done it where at the same time they're doing a gastroscopy down the throat and a colonoscopy, and they kind of meet in the middle. And apparently, the last time he had that done, they didn't have much of a sense of humor, because when they said they were going to do both at the same time, AD went, "Oh, a spit roast then." And they didn't appreciate it. They did not appreciate it. So it's
Only AZ.
okay. Abigail's had the spit roast as well. Yeah, you get a general. Yeah, AZ had a general for the spit roast. They may or may not. They said it's a day thing, and I don't know if they just do a day thing for general. Okay, Abigail, you asked if they meet in the middle. I think they told AZ they were basically going to meet because they were exploring everything, one from each end. And I know I am absolutely not looking forward to this. But again, you get to a certain age, and like it's not like I'm sick. As when I was talking to the doctor about it today, he said, "Look, there's a good chance it's nothing, but this is a precaution." And because you had a screen, it's not like I'm sick, I'm losing weight, I'm vomiting, and we did some tests and you've got colon cancer. It's not that at all. It's just like, oh, you did this screening thing and there were microscopic traces of blood in the sample. And so as a precaution, they want to do a colonoscopy now to see if they can see anything. And it's like, okay, I'm still freaking out, but, you know, it's cool.
Yeah, they want me to go to a gastrologist or whatever it's called because I've got low iron. But I've always had low iron, pretty much.
Yeah.
Apparently,
You sound like my mom. She's got low iron.
Abigail, I'm sure my partner will go to from hospital. I've got a referral. I've got to call a specialist tomorrow and say, hey, so how's this going to work, buddy? And how soon can we do it? Because I got private health insurance, so let's just fucking go. Because there's a fuck ton of cancer in my family, so I'm freaked out and paid for really expensive health insurance.
And let's live stream it.
Because my kids are on it. I should call them my offspring because they're fucking adults. But my lad's getting like Invisalign for his teeth, and Invisalign it's a braces alternative. It's this plastic thing that goes over your teeth. It's a braces alternative, and it is basically invisible. So I went to the dentist with my private health insurance card. Said, "Okay, run it through, and then I'll put my card in." And they put it, and the receptionist was like, "Bloody hell!" It's like, they're paying for $1,500. I went, yeah, that's apparently his lifetime benefit for orthodontics. And I fucking pay for this because I'm paranoid. So I'm not joking. Okay, just for a laugh, it's like my father, my mother, my sister, my aunt, my uncle. The aunt's the only one who didn't die. She had a mastectomy. The other 4, but from completely different cancers. But so when someone brings up something about cancer with me, I'm like, okay, let's be cautious. Let's just be real fucking cautious. And so if the doctor's going, like, you do public and you'll just wait for who knows how long, or if you've got private health insurance or want to pay for private, go private. I've got private health insurance. This is why I've got private health insurance, because I'm fucking paranoid. So it comes into its own. I'm actually overdue to get glasses. That's the other thing my private health insurance pays for. I can get new glasses every year. So now we're not quite so COVID-y. I can go into a Specsavers and get it.
I fucking love my new glasses. I love these things. I got the ones that change into sunglasses when you're outside.
Yep, I got those too. Yeah. I get the changing ones are cool. Well, but what's really funny, because it takes time. So if you go outside, they go really dark. Then you come inside and they stay dark for a while. It's like I've literally had, like, working from home stuff. I've been out, like, just getting some sunshine. You go, oh, I've got a meeting. And I go in and set up the meeting, and it's on camera, and I'm wearing sunglasses. And they're like, the fuck are you wearing sunglasses? And I went, oh, no, they won't be sunglasses in 5 minutes. It's cool. I was literally just outside. And, or even when I was working in the office.
And I'm like, why can't I see what I'm doing? What the fuck?
Even when I was
sunglasses off, Billy boy.
In the office, I'd go out at lunchtime. I'd go sunglasses dark, and then I'd come in, and I'm coming into the office, and I'm wearing sunglasses, and I would get looks from people like, "Why are you wearing sunglasses inside, you wanker?" And it was like, no,
he's famous. He's famous.
Remember that song? I wear my sunglasses at night.
Corey Hart. Okay, what you just reminded me. I had a dream once that he stabbed me. I woke up.
You're usually famous for 5 minutes.
If you've fallen off a cliff, like, do you ever have a thing like if you die in a dream, you wake up going, ah? I had that. I woke up and I went, why did Corey Hart stab me? What did I ever do to him?
Because he's so fucking cool. He wears his sunglasses at night.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not as bad as a dream I had the other night. I had a dream that a barge ran into my house.
Oh,
And I woke up in a hot sweat and was like,
that's island Shieldsy. That's.
and the funny thing about it, I do live on the water.
I know, because you're on that island. That's what I'm thinking. That's an island. Boats smashing into you. I have this thing, because I'm a really bad snorer, so I've been trying to find things to make my snoring less bad. And the latest one, which works reasonably well, is a cloudy thing that has holding, and because it holds your jaw in a particular angle, which apparently makes the muscles that go a bit slack, keeps them a bit taut, so you're less likely to snore. And apparently, Mrs. Angry tells me it works fairly well. But it's a really soft mouth, like double mouth guard. I go to sleep like this, and I slowly relax. But most nights, I have a dream where I'm eating something, and I'm eating something really chewy, and I'll wake up and realize I'm chewing on the mouth guard. That's dumb. Go back to sleep. Ooh, Kirsten got laser eyes.
What?
Kirsten got the LASIK eye surgery and ditched the private health insurance just after they paid for LASIK eye surgery, which is cool. And Abigail says
my mum got replacement lenses in her eyes.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
he's a cyborg.
Yeah. I think they might be glass or something, but yeah.
She's definitely a cyborg.
Anyway, there's a debate on whether or not I should have something similar done because, yeah, my right eye is really bad.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like glasses, but
Me too.
I'm a bit long-sighted, and I'm going to go in for an eye test again soon. Yeah, do that every couple of years, see if they need to change my prescription. And they said when you're long-sighted, as you get older, because as you get older, you tend to get short-sighted. So they said as you get older, it tends to correct a bit. Like if you were long-sighted, that tends to improve a bit when you get older. And last time they did the eye test, they were a bit confounded because they said it hadn't changed for me. And I'm like, oh, well, just, give me some glasses. So I might be rocking new glasses soon because I'm due to get an eye test to see if they want to change my prescription. And then just for lols, get new glasses because the health insurance will pay for them. Besides the other thing, besides the auto change sunglasses, mine are multifocal as well. So when I look down for reading, that's just normal glass at the bottom because when I'm reading something here, I don't need it. I don't need a lens for that. But this bit, when I'm looking out, that's the lens. So I paid extra to get multifocals as well.
When I first got glasses, I only had glasses on one lens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because your eyes are different. Yeah.
Yeah, the other I had normal, just normal glass. I think my mic might be weird.
So Abigail's assuming you need glasses for reading and glasses for long distance, but there's a sweet spot about a meter away from you that's in focus. So yeah, you need multifocals as well, but a different sort to mine. I find that if I'm looking at my phone screen for a long time and I'm like really it fucks up my eye focus for a while when I try to look at stuff in the distance. Like now I look at stuff in the distance, beautiful, clear. But if I'm like playing a game on the phone for an extended period, and I'm focused on something that's right here, and then I look up and it's like, oh, okay, my eyes are fucked. Okay, cool. And then I go through that phase of thinking my eyes are always going to be fucked. Stuff in the distance is always going to be weird and blurry. But then the eyes adjust and all is well. Trying to decide whether to have another cocktail or make a cocktail. I've just been drinking and I've emptied my milk clarified ones. I've still got some, actually. I'm lying. I've still got some, but just considering whether to keep going.
Keep going. It's a special day.
Chelly, is your mic weird? I don't know. There was some slightly funny noise, but the internet is slightly funny. So
I was going to say his internet's playing up tonight.
Yeah.
Oh.
And sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. So that's okay.
But I know you paused for me a second ago when you're mid-speech.
The internet, yes. Yeah. It's very weird. It's kind of like when someone says, like, on a help forum online, they go, like, I have this problem. What? Why? And you go, well, dude, there are literally like 100. You're talking about an internet thing. There are 100 things that could be causing the problem. It's like it's not a simple. When you're doing an internet connected thing, there's only one thing that could be the problem. Like, no, there's so many things that could be the problem.
Yeah, I was just wondering if I was echoing.
A tiny bit, but I don't know if it was particularly bothering anyone else. I was okay with it.
Yeah, because I don't know why I'd be echoing, because I don't have anything that could echo here.
That's not really. It's the internet.
Mhm.
It's, there's your ISP, there's my ISP, there's the fact we're going through
Yep.
StreamYard, which is then restreaming it to other places. Bits of fucking code and data are going.
Well, it is pinging to the US and back again, so
Yeah.
StreamYard, so.
Yes, Abigail makes a good point. If you ever say to your telco or ISP, I'm having problems, they will always blame your hardware. And sometimes that's true. But ISP help desks tend to be fucking useless.
Oh. That's the reason why everyone asks me.
Abigail fixed my Windows problem where it was saying, because she changed the motherboard on my PC, it doesn't recognize it anymore and says, the other says Windows isn't registered.
You need to reactivate your Windows.
Fucking pieces of shit. Because Microsoft know that it's their fault. They know this happens and they know it's their fault. And some people said, oh no, call the help. Actually talk to a person and they'll fix it. No, they didn't. No, they fucking didn't. This guy who is obviously in India, and also his setup, talking about echo, Kelly, this guy's setup was so bad, there was an echo of me about 2 seconds after I said things, which actually makes it really hard to talk, hearing yourself back 2 seconds later.
That's how you know he's on VoIP too.
Yeah. And he just kept saying, you need proof of purchase. And I was going shut the fuck up. I didn't actually say that. I'm trying to be polite to someone who works in the service. And I just went, no, Microsoft knows for a fact this is Microsoft's fault. Okay, when people change their motherboard, this happens. So why are you doing this to me? Oh, you need proof of purchase. And I just said, stop saying the same things. There's no value you saying that. This is your fault, not mine. Shut up. And eventually I was like, and the fucker wouldn't, I kept saying, this is a formal complaint. I want to make a formal complaint about this going nowhere. And he's just going no, you're not listening. You need to put me through to someone. I want to make a formal complaint. And he refused to. And they did that thing at the start, this may be recorded. And I just went at the end, this guy just ran out my patience. And just went, hey, that thing at the start said this might be recorded. If it is, if anyone else listens in it, this is the worst fucking experience of my life. I fucking hate you with a passion. And I'm going to use all my presence on social media to just non-stop say Microsoft is the most shit fucking company in the entire fucking world. Fuck all of you.
This is why I like Telstra Chat. Because at least you know they're Australian.
Yeah.
But I'm having problems with Telstra at the moment.
Oh, yeah, no, Telstra.
Which department?
Well, our internet keeps cutting out, but they keep saying, we need to get
NBN.
our line. Yeah.
NBN is in charge of all the pits now. It's nothing to do with Telstra now.
Mm-hmm.
So everything, internet issues with Telstra is not Telstra's fault now. It's NBN because they're not repairing the copper or the wiring hasn't been done at the end. Because I know we've been having the same problem over here on the island. There's so much bad copper, and everyone's blaming Telstra when it was NBN who took it over, and the maintenance just went down over 2 years.
Yeah, copper. The whole NBN thing was out of date before it was even put in place.
That's why I'm so happy I have fibre to the curb.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say, just randomly I opened Google News to see headlines.
Oh, God.
Back to our main topic of the Trump record.
Oh, yay.
Fucking Australian.
What's happened now?
No, nothing news happened. Trump made the statement saying, even though I think it's bullshit, there will be an orderly transition. But the fucking Australian has an editorial saying, Murdoch's flagship has an editorial saying, "Demagogue Donald Trump proves he was never fit to be president." It's like, holy, that's
you
on
dumb
the
fucks at the Australian. Jesus.
What a liar.
Oh, yeah. But also a couple of American outfits. The Washington Post has a headline, "Trump is guilty of sedition, impeach him again." And the New York Times has "impeach and convict right now." And so it's like, I don't think anything will happen. I don't know. But Jesus, they're really chucking a hissy fit in the States. It's,
I was literally about to bring it back to this subject because Camp Auschwitz is trending on Twitter right now.
oh, my
What?
God.
Oh,
No,
yeah. I
what?
saw that.
Why?
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, one of the protesters, terrorists, stormed the building wearing a hoodie, which appears. Well, let me get the photos. So on the hoodie,
he's got a shirt saying Camp Auschwitz.
yeah, he's wearing a hoodie that says Camp Auschwitz with the SS skull symbol. Underneath it says "Work will set you free" in German. I'm afraid I don't know the German translation. And apparently on the back of the hoodie it says "Staff."
Yeah. Yeah. It also has the slogan "Work brings freedom." And it's just like,
I don't know what the German
Jesus.
translation is, I'm afraid.
So for those who don't know, over the gate on the entrance to Auschwitz was the slogan "Arbeit macht frei," which translates as "work brings freedom," because they said it was a work camp, not a death camp. This guy translated it. So it says, Camp Auschwitz has a very Nazi-ish skull and crossbones. And then it says
the SS
English,
symbol.
yeah. It says in
The
English, "Work
the
brings
SS
freedom."
on their collar lapels, that was the pin that they wore on the actual lapels. The skull with the two lines underneath it. That's the symbol of the SS, the Schutzstaffen, the stormtroopers.
Yeah. And
he's wearing it on his fucking hoodie in the American Capitol building.
Yeah. It just reminds me of that old what's it? The British sketch comedy show with "Are we the baddies?"
Yes.
yes.
The Nazi with the skull and crossbones. He's just like looking at all the stuff with their uniforms and the stuff they do, and looks at his friend and goes, "Are we the baddies?" No. What? Why is our logo a skull and crossbones? That's pretty evil. It's like, no, pirates had that. And I love that as a meme. Just whenever you get this tiny bit of realization, like from someone who's supported Trump, that, oh, that's kind of bad what happened there, and someone will reply just with that picture of the guy going, "Are we the baddies?"
I love that sketch. It's a classic.
Oh, it is classic. Yeah, well, Toronto Maple Leaf are joining us from Canada. Howdy. We were joking, but we're not joking. We're just talking about it earlier. These fuckwits who committed serious crimes while photographing and videoing themselves, they're getting their door kicked in at 3:00 in the morning, and the feds are dragging them out. And yeah, they're like 10 years behind bars. And they're going to be so shocked when it happens.
It was hilarious that they had an excuse to wear
shock
masks.
Pikachu face.
Yeah, it's Shockachu, exactly.
Yes.
Like they had every reason to wear a mask, but
yeah.
Okay. No, apparently not.
Yeah, they're that against wearing masks because of COVID that they don't even wear it when. Yeah.
So,
like
question.
they could have worn a mask. Like they had the excuse, like, oh, we're not trying to hide our identities. We're being COVID safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we're just not going to wear masks and live stream our faces.
Yeah, they don't want to be the sheep.
Yeah, but it's kind of like
something about the National Guard. Now, I'm not quite sure the distinction between National Guard, the military, and the police.
Okay.
But there was some kerfuffle about someone, I think maybe Pence wanted to call in the National Guard, and Trump said no and stopped it. So they called in the West Virginian National Guard. And they did turn up, and they were in camo, and they were kind of indistinguishable from some of the
Trump
protesters.
supporters in more ways than one.
What the fuck was going on there? Does anyone
Well,
know?
the American enforcement system is really complicated. Police tend to be state police, but cities have sheriffs or counties have sheriffs, and they have different powers. But police tend to be state, and that's a full-time job. If you're a cop, it's a full-time job. If you're in the army, it's a full-time job. And there are bits in the Constitution saying the army can't be deployed on US soil except for incredibly specific circumstances. The National Guard are a reservist force.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
the National Guard are a reserve force who can be deployed on US soil in emergency situations. And as the name suggests, National Guard is a national thing, although invoking them tends to be done at the state level. And the DC National Guard are an anomaly in that they're the only one that's controlled by the president's office. And so guess why the DC National Guard weren't deployed? Because that would require Trump to say, deploy the DC National Guard. Now, theoretically, they were deployed at some point, but they didn't fucking do anything.
The word is that Trump refused to call in the National Guard, but it was Pence who sent the order out to bring them in. So it's a bit of a question as to why the chain of command was broken, where where Pence could supersede Trump's command to have the authority to bring in the National Guard.
Because no one takes Trump seriously.
I mean, he's on his way out.
Trump's Order 66.
That's really funny. Trump's Order 66.
Oh, God.
Don't say that. That's really scary.
I have to admit, I was sharing that meme of the crying toddler with a gun that was originally circulated saying this kid was told to shoot his own dog, and it's this crying kid with. And I looked up the history of that, and it was just from a stock photo shoot. No, it's not a kid shooting his dog. It's just from a stock photo shoot, and the kid's dad was the photographer, and the kids being kids, he got grumpy, he got sooky after hours of posing in different ways, and it was a toy gun, and he picked up, and he was just crying and tantruming, and his dad. I don't know if you've ever looked at how weird stock photography is, but stock photography is real fucking weird. And his dad just went, "Yeah, okay, little fella, pose with the gun." And come on, pose. And so you got these weird photos of a crying toddler with a gun, and they were meaningless, right? And he said, and the photographer said, "Oh yeah," and half an hour later he was laughing, and that's what kids are like. And we did more photos. But because those were on a stock photos site, and someone went, "That just looks like a kid being told to shoot his own dog," and they put it on like Reddit or Imgur or whatever or 4chan saying this kid was told to shoot his own dog, and that's what it looks like. I was sharing that with saying this is the DC police being told they have to use riot munitions on Trump supporters, and it was just
awkward. Oh, fuck.
very awkward.
Yeah, I think I shared it too, or at least enthusiastically hit like.
Yeah. Because it is. It's just a
It
funny
like.
picture because it looks like, why is that kid crying?
I don't want to. I didn't shoot my friends.
Yeah. And it's the actual picture is pretty innocent, but it's a pretty effective meme. I really like it as a meme.
I'm just saying.
I think the photographer was a clever guy putting that up on for stock photos, actually.
But if you can lose a lot of hours on a stock photo website because there are millions of photos, and often the photographers try and tell a story with the pictures, and there'll be dozens of photos of the same people doing stock things, and you can invent a story out of them. Like the distracted boyfriend meme is a stock photo.
Yeah, that one.
And there is like a couple dozen photos with those three people in them, and you can make a real funny story with them. Because in one of them, the two women get married, so it's like the distracted boyfriend gets dumped, and the two women get married. But stock photos are just fucking weird.
And what about the one with Henry Cavill and the guy from the Aquaman guy,
Jason Momoa?
And Jason Momoa is creeping up on Henry Cavill, and that's a meme. And then there's another photo, and it's of them hugging, like straight after.
Yeah, because Henry Cavill's in a suit doing his elegant I'm talking to the media thing, and Jason Momoa is super shaggy and he's wearing like jeans and a t-shirt at the same event and sneaks up on him and and Henry Cavill looks and goes, I guess they've been together for so many months, and just says, oh, there you are. And they hug, and it's just like, they both seem like fun guys. I mean, Henry Cavill was doing all these really endearing things during lockdown of building his own computer. And Henry Cavill's a gamer. He's building a gaming PC. It's just like... And, Jason Momoa is always off being cute. And, like with the Aquaman stuff at one of the junkets, a reporter says something like... Are you a good swimmer? Did you have to take swimming lessons, or was it stunt people in the ocean? And Jason Momoa just like rolls his eyes and goes, dude, I'm Hawaiian. I live on a tiny island, the water's 5 minutes from anywhere. And it's just like, of course I can swim, you idiot. And it's... But, and that other Jason Momoa meme where he's walking down the street and he's got bodyguards and they all only kind of come up to his nipples. They're like, they look tiny next to him, and he's got 4 bodyguards. And the tagline on it was, Jason Momoa's bodyguards look like mini bosses that you have to beat before you can face the final boss.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It was great.
Yes, that's so true.
Oh. Yeah.
I like Jason Momoa. I mean,
he's funny, and that's what people said. Look, the obvious thing is because Jason Momoa is huge. If he goes out in public, dickheads will try and challenge him and cause shit. He doesn't need bodyguards to protect him. He needs bodyguards to run interference, so people can't go up and like punch him and say you're not so tough, because he's not allowed to beat the shit out of someone because he'll get in trouble if he does. So he has bodyguards who can legally beat the shit out of someone and say they were protecting their client.
I've got a friend who's like 6 foot, God knows what, like 6'7" or something absurd, and he's not just tall and skinny, he's tall and built, know. And but he is just such a big teddy bear, and he's a thespian. He likes to wear purple velvet suits, and he stands out, but he doesn't want to stand out as the guy to beat in the club. He wants to stand out as fabulous. But he has, every time he goes out, some little shit's trying to pick a fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to know about it. So I can imagine what it's like to be Jason Momoa. Like, he, famous as well. Famous is even better than a purple velvet suit, So just them.
Jason Momoa is about 6'3". He's 1.93 meters, so he's like 6'3", 6'4", and he's built, so he's pretty imposing.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend's a little bigger than that. He goes out to nightclubs in Perth, and he doesn't get left alone. It's awful.
Yeah. And I just looked. Henry Cavill's 1.85 meters, so he's like almost an even 6 foot. So he's a little bit shorter than Jason Momoa.
I've got.
We've got random ducks happening in the chat. Nice.
Yep.
I like that.
Oh, Abigail.
Sophie, you love that Django Fett's Aquaman's dad. I love that Django Fett,
That's so cute.
when he was on the set for The Mandalorian, my brain, I've had a couple of cocktails, my brain's gone blank on his name. Temuera Morrison. He's a super cool guy. He was actually saying he wanted to change the weapon Boba Fett used to be a bit more like a Maori spear, and he showed them the moves he wanted to do. He said, "This is what I know to do," and apparently he was like doing hakas on set to G people up, like they're about to do the big shootout scene with the stormtroopers, and to G everyone up, he's like, "Okay, before we go, let's go. Just get in the mood." And he just does this haka, and everyone's just like, "Fucking yeah, let's have a battle now." Fucking yeah. Temuera Morrison is just winding them all up with a haka, which I think is beautiful. But that's a really interesting thing with New Zealand. It's not like, racial politics is perfect in New Zealand, but it's a lot better than in Australia. Honestly, you got to be real. Seeing particularly the haka, like
half Kiwi here.
There you go, Shieldsy. You can do it.
I think you guys should be proud.
Born Australian.
I'm really susceptible to like emotionally manipulative videos. Like if you get this thing like, "Oh, try not to cry when you say," I will always be, "Oh my god, that's beautiful, that's beautiful," which does not suit like the tough, angry persona at all. But there was like one of a school teacher, and I think he was married, but I'm not sure. But he died, and so all these students were at his funeral, and the senior year, the boys got up and did a haka, and they were mostly white boys. There were some Maori boys, mostly white boys, and they just got up and did this haka at his funeral. And I just watched that, and I just tear up, just going, "That's just so beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that." It's true. But Sartha, he did use the base thing. It was a Tusken Raider stick, because that was the whole thing. Boba Fett had been in the deserts of Tatooine since The Empire Strikes. No, Return of the Jedi, when he got thrown into the Sarlacc pit, but he survived. He'd lived in the Tatooine deserts ever since, so for 40 years. So he was coexisting with the Tusken Raiders. So his weapon was that stick that the Tusken Raiders do. But Temuera Morrison said to them, "I want it to be longer and thicker and heavier, and then it's going to be like proportions like there's a name for the Maori weapon that it was." And he says, "Then I can do, because I've spent my whole life doing this shit for ceremonies, then I can do it." And they were like, "Okay." And of course, the Lucasfilm guys who build props and sets and stuff, they go, "Dude wants us to build a weapon. Fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's fucking do it." And they were completely on board with, yeah, Boba Fett wants us to make a custom weapon. We'll do that. And was it like there's going to be like 5 or 6 Star Wars series come out this year, which is going to be a bit weird, but I don't know.
Why?
Because The Mandalorian was so successful, there's, I think, 3 Mandalorian spin-offs. There's Boba Fett has his own show. He's taken over the Hutt palace on Tatooine. The Jedi Ashoka has her own series, and there's one about marshals of the New Republic, which was something they introduced as well. And then there's an animated series for which the trailer looked super badass, called The Bad Batch. So it's like the idea is like these are Clone Wars troopers, and something's gone a bit wrong in their cloning, and they're a bit aggro, so they're the Bad Batch.
You gotta watch the last season of the Clone Wars animation to really know that storyline.
Yeah, and I never really watched that. I heard the Clone Wars was pretty good. I heard Rebels was pretty good. The animated series. I'm a huge fan of the Gennady Tartakovsky Clone Wars animation shorts that were done between prequel 2 and 3. I really enjoy them. Okay, so yeah, Abigail's also saying, yeah, Bad Batch is from Clone Wars. So, and yeah, so, you know, I don't know, there's literally 5 or 6 Star Wars series. Some of them might be good. They might all be good. Who knows? Maybe they'll all be good. And because they own Marvel as well, there's also like 5 Marvel movies coming out this year.
I can't wait for the Winter Soldier one.
And the Falcon, Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
Falcon.
that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the one I'm waiting for before I reactivate my Disney Plus again.
Yeah, but they've got like 5 Marvel series coming out.
WandaVision.
They've made good series.
Yeah.
Look, I know you guys are all into your sci-fi nerdery.
Yeah.
But is there anyone, and I'm looking at you girls, who's into period drama nerdery?
What
Mrs.
specifically?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry, I'm
What was that, Kelly?
What type of period dramas are we talking about?
All the period dramas. Big frocks and drama.
Does Downton Abbey count as period drama?
Yes.
Yeah, but, you know, it's really milquetoast. It's a very milquetoast.
Nice.
What about Place to Call Home? Does that count as a period drama?
I don't. Oh, hang on. Is that
The
Australian?
one. The Australian
Yeah.
one.
With lots of. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one yet.
It's really good. And I was actually part of the group that worked together to help bring it back.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good on ya. All right. I like Fran Fine. Not Fran Fine. Oh, Jesus. Miss Fine.
Nanny.
What's her name? Oh, shit. Miss Fisher. Miss Fisher. Murder Mysteries. I like them. And I like Bridgerton, which is.
I've heard good things about Bridgerton.
And I like, well, because it's, you know, diverse and historically inaccurate. So it's causing huge amounts of, you know, controversy all through everything to do with period drama at the moment. Oh, and the boys have gone to sleep.
No. Mrs. Angry likes the period dramas, and I usually watch them with her. We haven't watched Bridgerton yet, but all the Jane Austen and whatnot spin-offs that they do, we normally end up watching them. Kirsten's mad for Bridgerton apparently, so there you go.
Kirsten's mad for Bridgerton. Excellent.
What was Gentleman Jack? Who watched Gentleman Jack?
I've got it on DVD, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
It's good. And it's based on a real person.
Oh, talking about based on a real person, there's a new movie coming out. It's called Ammonite.
Yeah.
What's that?
And it's about, it's called Ammonite, and it's about this woman who, she lives on a beach, and she becomes really interested in fossils, and she's investigating about it, and eventually scholars start coming to her and talking to her about all these fossils that she's finding. And she was a pretty significant figure in paleontology and stuff.
Yeah, but she was also a lesbian.
Yeah, she was. Well, sort of. Yeah, it's debatable. Like, there was some things that, but I think they said that it's exaggerated in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, they do tend to take what looks like, hints towards 21st century issues and points that are worth exploring, and expand and exaggerate, and therefore make it more relevant to 21st century audience. And that's the sort of thing that happens in Bridgerton. You know, there's of course there were black people in Regency England, but they weren't the Queen and they weren't a Duke. But fuck it, let's run with it because it's fun. Yeah,
they're trying to give it a vibe. Yeah.
But yeah, I've got the book that it's based on.
Sorry?
I've got the book that Ammonite, the movie, is based on. So yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, cool. I often go and see the period movies, like talking the queer period dramas. The Queen's Favourite came out last year or the year before. That was very good. And yeah, they were really exploring. Queen Victoria did seem kind of close to some of her ladies in waiting. Was there more to that than meets the eye type of thing? So,
yeah, taking some hints and running with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we often see the period drama movies because a couple of them tend to come out every year.
Yeah, the thing about Bridgerton is that they take the idea that, I mean, a couple of people, they were being mean, and I hate to say this, but they were being, has Shieldsy just frozen for real or not?
No. Sorry, I was just reading an article about IGA on the mainland where the bay's getting demolished to be turned into worse.
It
just shocked me.
Mate.
Sorry.
Just sitting very still. Sitting very still.
I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, that's right. There are a couple of, bitchy courtiers saying that Queen Charlotte was looked black, but that wasn't a compliment. But some people have picked it up and run with it and gone, but she was black. And now a whole lot of people think that she actually was black, and that kind of is fuel for erasure of a lot of what's the word? Complaints is not the word. Yeah. What's the word?
I'm not sure.
Sure, but there's a word that's harder than complaint.
Yeah.
Grievances.
But you know what's wild? The theories that are actually really quite plausible that Beethoven was black. Contemporary representations of Beethoven give him really sort of African features, and there's some thing about people don't know who his mother was or something, and so there is a plausible line of exploration that's looking at was Beethoven black, like as in one of his parents was African. Yeah. But I've seen, someone did a whole article on it, and I saw the prints and stuff that were contemporary representations of Beethoven, and it's like, we just kind of, sorry, it was Beethoven deaf. No, that's a boring autocomplete. We want to know, was Beethoven black?
I agree, Abigail. Heavenly Creatures was an amazing movie.
That's the New Zealand film? Yeah?
About the two girls who killed one of their mothers.
Yeah, they had this really fantasy world they were living in. And they killed a parent. And is that a... What's his name? Who did the Lord of the Rings? Peter. Is that a Peter Jackson film?
Yes.
It is. Yeah.
In fact, when I heard that Peter Jackson was doing The Lord of the Rings, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, he did Beautiful Creatures so well. This is going to be amazing.
All right. I'm gonna do a quick toilet break because I do want to I want to test another drink before I go to bed. Yes. So I'm going to the loo.
I've been cataloguing my book collection lately.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's been fun.
How much period drama have you got in your book collection? Or period romance?
I've got a few. Yeah. I got a lot of them during high school when I shouldn't have been reading them.
Oh, because they were a bit risque, were they?
Yes. Anyway, the room that I'm in at the moment, there's a large portion of the flooring that is covered in books right now. They're all stacked, and up to last time I checked was 845.
Whoa! I don't think I've got that many.
Yeah, and I'm still counting.
And I thought I read a lot when I was a teenager. I read Flowers in the Attic. Did you ever do the Virginia Andrews books?
I've got the Virginia Andrews books, all of them. I haven't read them yet.
My mother should never have let me.
Did you watch the new telemovies?
Are there new telemovies?
Yeah, they did a series of telemovies on all the books.
Oh, that would be weird. Oh, God.
And me and my mum bought them for like $20 for the set.
I'm terrified. I don't know if I want to watch them, but I want to, but I don't want to, you know?
Yeah, we don't have them anymore, I don't think, but we had them for a little while. And we watched them all. But yeah, my mum couldn't handle watching it, the original movie. She really hated it.
Oh, that's right. I did see the original movie. Yeah, that was so long ago, though. God. Yeah,
she saw it with my aunt, and they walked out, I think.
Which movie are we talking about?
Flowers in the Attic.
Oh, that's just weird incest porn. That's just...
Mm-hmm. They've got some other weird... there's other books that gets into other weirdness.
Yeah,
and
the original author, the original author died, and they just kept milking it with a bunch of ghostwriters. So you notice the first couple are written by these Victoria Andrews, and the later ones are copyright VC Andrews, because VC Andrews is a company. So the VC Andrews company owns the copyright to the book. So they never openly admitted it was ghostwriters, but of course it had to be because she was dead. And
that's like Anne Rice, you know, she puts her name on the book, but she doesn't write them. Or at least she stopped writing them somewhere in the sort of mid-90s.
Well, it's kind of like Tom Clancy books. Tom Clancy hasn't written a book in 20 years. He's just farmed it out to other people.
Oh, Tom Clancy died.
Sorry?
Tom Clancy died.
I'd never noticed. It's just like, you know, it's just...
Yeah, because my dad reads all his books. And so, yeah, he died. And they apparently have declined in quality ever since.
What are you going to do?
Is it?
Oh.
I mean, ghostwriting is for someone who's not good enough for writing under their own name yet.
There's a really funny movie with oh God, what's her name? Blonde was in Something About Mary.
I know the one. The girl with the big mouth.
Yes. It's a movie called Young Adult where she's ghostwriting a really popular young adult series because the original author can't be bothered writing them anymore, and she's getting really frustrated that no one knows that, and she's actually an awful person, and she's really frustrated that no one knows she actually writes the books because they're still published under the original author's name. No, it's not Drew Barrymore. Safa.
No, she was in the movie, in the Charlie's Angels movies with Drew Barrymore, but she wasn't Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, really skinny ass, but she did the bum dance.
Yeah.
And I want to say Charlize Theron, but it's not her.
That's not Charlize Theron.
No, I'll find it.
Is that right?
Cameron Diaz, yeah.
Cameron Diaz. Yes.
Yep.
She it's really funny because she normally plays cutesy, happy characters, and her character in Young Adult is really fucked up. She's a real.
I haven't seen that one.
It's worth seeing. Look it up. It's just called Young Adult. And I think Patton Oswalt is in it too, and he's always funny.
He's great.
She comes from some small town, and it's like she's always wanted to be famous, and she feels like she should be because she's ghostwritten some best-selling YA novels, but they don't have her name on them. So she's a real fuck up. It's really interesting.
It's Charlize Theron. I just looked it up.
Speaking of... Oh, no, Nettie, you might be right.
Yeah.
They look so alike, though. I can see why you got why you made that mistake. All Hollywood blondes look the same.
Charlize Theron.
Face doctors.
Yep. No, I was thinking Cameron Diaz, but it's actually Charlize Theron. Yes, it absolutely is. So there you go. They're all, bob haircut and a big smile and
blonde.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really weird when you get did you hear that the show Castle, there's actually books written by a person ghostwriting as Richard Castle from the show. Because he writes a series called Nikki Heat, and you can actually read the Nikki Heat books.
Oh my god!
Because they've got at least 3 or 4 books that have been ghostwritten.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's really weird.
It is really weird.
All right. I'm gonna test drive a cocktail now. What else do I need? Blood orange and rest.
What should I put with this Ochre Tropic? I mean, what would it be like? What's it similar to?
What sort of flavor? Is it orange? Is it pineapple? Is it? Let
me have a look what they say. Crafted from Polish Hill River. Oh, I can't read that word. And fortified with unused spirit from our distillery. Gee, that sounds good, doesn't it? Aromatized oranges to create a vibrant tropical cousin to vermouth, otherwise known as Mistral.
Okay, so it's a cousin to vermouth. And you like your whiskey as well? You've got some Starwood of some description there?
I do indeed.
I would suggest follow a recipe for a Manhattan and go Starwood and the Tropic instead of a Manhattan recipe will be whiskey and sweet vermouth. So I'm saying go Starwood and Tropic in the ratios that are recommended for a Manhattan.
Okay.
I think that.
I gotta look that up though. Differs. Okay.
I'm going to do this cocktail because I'm getting really into my YouTube cocktail channel, and more people are starting cocktail channels on YouTube. Like I started mine at the end of February, like basically when COVID first fucking hit, basically. I started my cocktail channel. And at that time, I could only find about half a dozen cocktail channels. But in the intervening year, I found like a dozen or more. See, everyone in COVID started going, I'm just going to make cocktails on YouTube because, it's the thing to do. So,
yeah, a lot of people have drunk a hell of a lot more recently.
Oh, yeah. So there's a couple guys who've come up with this idea now to get people more engaged in doing stuff. They come up with a challenge, like get everyone who's got a cocktail channel to do a cocktail on a theme. And they had a good one for Christmas. They called it the Christmas Martini Challenge. It's just basically you had to make a Christmassy drink and put it in a martini glass. Didn't really have to strictly be a martini. You just put it in a martini glass. And that was good. There was some really good, and I had fun doing one for that. But then their latest one is Spicy New Year. So you have to make a spicy cocktail. And I remember last year I made one with a friend, who wanted a signature cocktail. And I asked her what flavors she liked and what not. And then I added this, which is actually a chili liqueur. Ancho Reyes is actually quite spicy, only half a shot. So I'm going to adapt that a little bit. And it's the Spicy Rena, because her name is Rena. Or Raina, she might pronounce it Raina, I don't know. So for my spicy challenge, and I'm going to change, because I realized I looked it up and I'd made it with vodka, and I'm going like, no, vodka's bullshit. Why did I make it with vodka? She's lived in California and has Mexican heritage. So I'm going, it clearly should be tequila, not vodka. Why the fuck did I ever make vodka? So I'm going to experiment now and make this thing with tequila and see what it tastes like. And if it tastes good, I'll make it for my YouTube channel. But also I just feel like making a cocktail. So, and this is a really fucking boozy cocktail too, quite honestly. Ooh, I forgot the blood orange. Where's that gone? Hiding up the back here. Like I won't find you because you're at the back of the drinks trolley. Haha, didn't work. So what am I supposed to put in? I'm going to put tequila and mezcal, blood orange, chili, agave syrup. That's my agave syrup. Yep, that's everything. Okay, where's my cocktail? I think I washed my cocktail shaker. Yeah, here. Can anyone make a tequila drink without starting to sing the tequila song? I know I can't. Just start going to.
I've actually got that song because they had it on a 50s album.
Oh, nice.
Damn you,
Sorry,
Angry.
yeah.
It's now stuck in my head.
Sorry, man.
Also, I don't know if anyone remembers Wakakiri.
Oh, my God. Now I'm having visions of Pee Wee Herman. Oh, my Lord. No.
Wakakiri.
Oh.
Update your references, mate. You got to watch Baby Driver. Have you seen that movie?
Baby Driver was really good.
Very good movie. Very good.
A lot of fun.
Okay, Shieldsy, if you haven't seen it, watch Baby Driver, and that will update your reference for tequila. But I know what you mean about Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, God, no.
So, Abigail, what's the tequila song? It's the one that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much that's the only word that's in the tequila song is tequila.
Sorry, I'm making too much noise.
Oh.
What can you?
Mezcal.
Well, that's what happens when you're talking about the tequila song.
Yep. Tequila.
So we should talk quiet now.
No, you can all. I was kind of shouting because I was all exuberant. Oh, Kirsten, you've got work in the morning. Good night. So I'm living it up because I don't have work in the morning.
Yeah, I'm living it up too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, half a shot of
Yeah.
Coke, half a shot of
Work.
no. I'm just putting half shot of a whole bunch of things in my drink. This is actually a really boozy drink I'm making. There you go. Abigail says Baby Driver was actually based on a music video, also directed by Edgar Wright. There you go.
My version of living it up, though, is staying up until like 4 a.m. reading comics.
Yeah, that's an excellent way to live it up. I like it.
Yeah.
I think that's an excellent way to live it up.
My dad is less than happy, though. He thinks that I should be in bed earlier.
I used to be
Yeah.
one of those nut.
Full
I used to
bogan.
be one of those nut jobs who used to go to LAN parties, go for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't drink, so I don't go to parties.
That was deadly. If you
Yeah,
fell
LAN
asleep, it was
wild.
fair game, and everyone did anything to anyone who fell asleep. Oh
Yeah.
my lord!
There's that famous photo from a 90s LAN party of the guy who's duct taped to the ceiling and he can still reach his keyboard to play. So,
That's the reason why when I go to sleep, I find a corner away from everyone and just hide.
so you don't have dicks drawn on your face when you wake up.
I had shampoo put in my hair at year 11 camp. I learned my lesson. Never go to bed early while all the other kids are still awake.
Yeah. Oh man, I haven't used this agave syrup in ages, and it's really yummy. It's from Costco. It's meant to be used in cooking as a sugar substitute. It's agave syrup, which is the same base as tequila or mezcal, but it tastes like golden syrup. Have you ever had golden syrup? But yeah, it's meant to be a sugar substitute for cooking, but I use it as a sugar substitute for cocktails because it's already a syrup. So I'm just gonna put some ice in here.
Damn you, angry and nice.
Yeah, me and ice. So
I had to take my earphones out.
No, I'll switch the microphone off while I shake because it would be a bit rude to leave the microphone on while I shake. I left it on.
Yes, you did.
Fucking hell! I pushed the button. It didn't switch off.
No.
Oh my god!
That's like the other night when you do your video, and we're like, going, oh god! Oh,
sorry.
Angry and mics don't go together.
Hello. I'm always embarrassed when I think I switched the microphone off and I actually didn't. I just thought it was a joke I was making.
Now that would be a good blooper reel. Every time Angry Aussie didn't turn the mic off during stream.
I still think the funny one was the 3 forbidden words on Twitch, and I went, "Oh, I'll put them on chat and YouTube, and that automatically put them on Twitch as well." Oh dear. I see. All right. Kind of looks like a margarita.
But yeah, people were saying that it's interesting that words protecting men are, being censored, whereas before words protecting women.
Yeah, it's weird. Because, of course, okay, so I'm just saying it because I don't fucking care. So the 3 words were... So simp is used as a derisive term for anyone who's like a fan of a cam girl or something.
Well, it stands for sucker idolizing mediocre pussy.
I
didn't know that?
But,
Nope.
There you go. It's a good thing I'm here.
thanks for that, Louis.
I kind of wish I didn't know that.
So yeah, but it's a dude who fawns after a cam girl, basically.
Yeah.
And virgin and incel. And I've always thought incel was fascinating because the term was actually coined
They are
by a
absolutely
young woman, and it wasn't a negative term. She coined it for herself. She's been like, I've been trying to get back with someone for a couple of years and shit just won't work out. And so she's declared the condition to being involuntarily celibate. And she said, and she shortened it to incel. And so for a while, the whole incel thing was a support group for people who are going, trying to, get back in the game, as it were. And then shit got toxic. Oh, this is a really good drink, by the way, just, for those playing at home.
I mean, the incel conundrum, it's quite the Gordian knot.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, for the really toxic dudes, the black pill types, I'm just like, fuck them. I don't care. I don't want to reach them. But because the bunch of guys who, in many cases, are just a bit awkward or a bit confused or a bit insecure, and they get suckered into this stuff, and they don't realize how much they're hurting themselves. And I'll be honest, I'm slightly less concerned with them hurting themselves. I'm more concerned with them hurting other people. But it also comes back to they're hurting themselves really badly, and they don't seem to understand that. And I feel like for the ones who aren't completely lost, I feel like that's where the in is, that you say, like, dude, you realize you are voluntarily making your life way fucking worse than it has to be.
The problem with these men and boys is that they might not start off in so bad a position. They might just start off being somebody that's socially awkward, doesn't have many friends. The problem is that they find these communities online, like a lot of the incel groups on Reddit have been banned because they've been so toxic.
Yes.
But they find incel groups online, and that just feeds into this idea that they're ugly, they're worthless, they'll never find happiness, they'll never find love. And it just becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy. They might start off just only on not so bad of a foot, but they get into those communities and that just feeds into their self-hate.
Yep.
And they just end up like in this slide that just sends them further and further into this ideology where they come to this belief that they'll never find happiness, that all women are evil, that they're just out to use men, that the incel, the idea of like this beauty standard of society, the Chad and the Stacy.
Yeah.
It's really these communities that need to be broken up.
Yeah. And I think you can find some. And Abigail's come in with a good Pokemon reference about them hurting. It hurts itself in its confusion. That is what they're doing. And you get those toxic communities, and they deliberately cultivate alienated and isolated people. It's also it's like the PewDiePie problem on YouTube. Like he's saying dumb shit because he's self-absorbed and doesn't think about anyone else, and so he says dumb shit. and he gets backlash for saying dumb shit, and people saying you're awful for saying dumb shit. But then there's this other group of people who just are in his ear going, "You're not awful. You're cool. You're awesome." It's the people who are telling you you're awful. They're the awful ones, and the literal volume of attacks he must go through. It's very seductive to listen to someone whispering in your ear going, "It's not you who's at fault, it's them." And it turns out people whispering in your ear are fucking Nazis.
I don't think PewDiePie realizes just how influential he is, because he's been on part of that, like the simp train, like calling out simp behavior. But here's the thing: like, there's so many issues that are adjacent to like the whole simp thing, because like one step away from criticizing simps is like being critical of sex workers. Because so much of like, and first of all, like, who cares if somebody's supporting an online content creator, whether it's not safe for work or if it's safe for work?
Yeah,
I mean, if that's what somebody wants to do with their time, whatever. And like he's like, who do you like? Where do you draw the line at being a simp? You know?
Yeah, and the interesting thing is with like some of the anime communities and stuff that I am involved in, because I watch a lot of anime, is that simp isn't necessarily used as a derogative term. It can sometimes be used. It is often used as like either a teasing term or a term that they will use for themselves as a way of demonstrating their affection for a particular character or a particular person, in not necessarily a creepy way, but just in like an affectionate way. And so, yeah, it's not necessarily used badly. So it's interesting.
Yeah,
like
it's
somebody standing.
Oh, so are you saying standing, Louis?
Yeah, so like in that community, like simp is used synonymously of stan, and then like to stand somewhere.
It's basically a stan, yeah.
Yeah, I think some people who proudly call themselves stans forget that it comes from the Eminem song about the absolute psychopath.
Yeah, so I guess that sometimes words just they take on a life of their own, and it's completely different to what was originally intended.
But the term stan was originally intended to evoke that Eminem character. It's like, it's a fan who is a fucking nutcase. And
the Stan song with Dido is just
but
crazy.
It became people just blithely say like, they're cool, I stan them, and and it doesn't. And you're not saying, yep, I am psychopathically obsessed with them, and will be close to me if they don't answer my letters. But some of them, like you know, Beyonce stands. Man, you do not want to say something bad about Beyonce.
No.
On the internet or in public life, because the Beehive is fucking crazy. It's oof. Well, okay, this will be a fun conversation. Who are the most dangerous stands? Who are the stands that will really fucking hurt you if you get on the wrong side of them? What's worse, okay, Beyonce stands or K-pop stands? Who?
Yeah, I was thinking K-pop. Maybe K-pop.
K-pop, no contest.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be J-pop or K-pop, because K-pop has a lot of really diehard fans.
Yeah, so I feel like the K-pop stands are kind of chaotic good or chaotic neutral.
They did do that Trump thing.
Yeah. Whereas the Beehive stands, they're kind of, I don't know, maybe true because they will just fucking crush you.
Apparently, because I saw this book in QBD, it was a fiction book, but it was based on like what really happens with K-pop. Basically, if you're a K-pop person, you can't be in a romantic relationship because the fans own you.
Yes. Yeah. No, those
It's a bit like slavery.
particularly the ones that are all girls that can be anywhere from 6 to 20 in the group, and they're absolutely controlled by the record labels. Abigail, the term stan originally comes from the Eminem song, which was called Stan, which was like every public person's nightmare of the fan who takes it way too far and is obsessed and dangerous. It's kind of like the Stephen King book Misery. It's that. They're a fan, but they're actually dangerous because they're way too obsessed.
And it has like song cuts from Dido.
Yeah. So colloquially, a stan is a really dedicated fan. In its darkest version, a stan is so obsessed they're dangerous. But people, it's become modified. It's just like if you're a fan of someone, you just go, oh yeah, I stan them. But originally, a stan was a fan who was so obsessed they're actually quite
like that guy who committed suicide over Bjork.
Yes, basically stalkers who are crazy as fuck.
Mm.
But yeah, the Eminem song
is quite cool. Song that I just thought of that where this guy falls in love with this woman and he like carves her name on his forehead and all that sort of stuff, and he does all this crazy stuff because he's in love with her, and then he kills himself because I don't know, to get her to notice him or something.
I don't know. Really sorry for those guys. I do feel sorry for all that they're very dangerous. I do feel sorry for someone who is so controlled by their desire and their obsession. Like there's obviously something out of balance in the brain because they can't just stop by thinking, "Oh, I should stop this."
Yep.
You know, there are plenty of obstacles for them, and they just go plowing straight through them. Yeah,
there's a big mental health issue in there with like an obsessed fan, and that difficulty in separating fiction from reality. What's the people talking about the they call it a parasocial relationship particularly with online personalities, because the online relationship between creator and their fan is much more intimate than the traditional relationship between a star and a fan. Big thing with stars and their fans is they were completely separated. But YouTube particularly created this thing like, because you do the thing talking straight at the camera, there's this eye contact and they're talking to you. And that I don't know who first coined the term, but
that makes sense.
Relationship. You think you have a relationship with a person who literally doesn't know that you exist, but you form a very strong bond as if you know them.
That makes sense. Yeah, I have a friend who in America who she's neurodiverse, and she has kind of a relationship with a certain professional widow, and and you know, she talks back to her. She does. I mean, sometimes she says, "Look, you really should find something else to do with your spare time." But I mean, they do have a sort of connection, and these boundaries are not as clear to people as you might assume that they are, especially, you know, when you've grown up with traditional, you know, non-social media interactions with celebrities. You know, social media has really blurred a lot of lines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And things like Twitch and streaming and all that sort of stuff, Yeah.
And I honestly think the single biggest element of it is the eye contact.
Yeah.
Movie stars and pop stars didn't do eye contact with the fans, but YouTube put this thing in where you're talking straight at the camera and someone's watching it on the screen, and so there's this eye contact, and that's human eye contact is a really intimate thing, and particularly with long YouTube videos where someone holds eye contact for like half an hour or more, that's hypnotic. That's almost hypnotic.
That would be natural, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if someone spoke to you for half an hour without breaking eye contact, you would think that you were both in love.
Yeah, it's intimate.
I mean, that's the signal. It is definitely the signal.
Yeah. I just thought the other thing that's always done to me is because you're getting that eye contact thing and everyone frames it the same no matter what their height is. So you do this. So I have this thing where I think everyone's the same height as me. And so I occasionally meet someone who's much shorter than me or much taller than me. And because I saw them through a screen and you're having this eye level contact, I thought my brain had gone, they're the same height as you. And they're either much shorter or much taller. And it's really weird. It's really disconcerting.
Good night, Abigail. Abigail's going to bed.
That seems fair.
Good night, Abigail.
Abigail.
I think I'm going to dip too. It's getting late and I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah, I suppose
thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, Louis.
Do you mind if I shout out my socials?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Throw them out, man.
All right. Listen up, y'all. Here in Australia, we have a problem with the right online. We have no big left-wing YouTube, Twitch content creators. So let's put a stop to that. Let's get a big lefty YouTube channel up there. I'm all about workers' rights, minority rights, in particular Indigenous and trans people, and masculinity, stuff like that. If that's the kind of thing that you're interested in, hey, come check out my channel. I'll drop a link in the YouTube chat. Please subscribe if you like the content. As soon as my internet gets upgraded, I'm going to start streaming.
Okay. And also, Louis, because sometimes it doesn't let you put links in the YouTube chat. If you put it in the private chat on StreamYard, I can put it in the YouTube chat.
Done.
YouTube's gotten all weird with what it does and doesn't let you do. So, okay, I've got it in the private chat now. So this, okay, yeah, no, I will put it in. For those who want to know, I'm putting the link in. That's Louis' channel. So,
all
good.
Right.
Excellent.
Take it easy, y'all. Trans rights, stay safe.
Take care, man. Cheers.
Good night.
See ya.
No. Now we all look a bit bigger on the screen.
Oh dear. How terrible.
Kind of like the work. Oh God, Shieldsy, come on. Yes, Nettie's doing it now too. Okay, we'll all do it. It's just the thing. My head looks. Oh my God, you have a great lens on your webcam, Nettie. That's a.
Overly
I saw a TikTok. I only ever see TikTok when someone posts them to Facebook or Twitter because I'm old.
Same.
And someone posted one. Someone did this really funny one. Something about the way camera phones work. Traditionally, the flattering angle for a traditional camera is above your eye line. The lens should actually be above your eye line. So you should tilt your head up a little to look down the lens. And that's the flattering angle. Like a low angle is bad. And it was this TikTok with this girl, and she's got like with her phone, and it's from down below. And she looks quite good. And she put the caption, "Since when did this look better?" And she brings the phone up here, and something about the way the camera phone lens works, it makes her nose go right out and her chin go right out. And so she's got this low angle. Since when did this look better than this? And she brings it up there and brings it straight back down. Oh no, fuck no, that was terrible. What was that?
But TikTok kids are so funny. They are
Yeah.
so fucking funny. I love them.
No, TikTokers are pretty goddamn funny, actually. And like I said, I just rely on other people putting them on Facebook or Twitter or something. It's like, here's the TikTok that's funny. Thank you for sharing with me a TikTok that is funny, because I don't go on TikTok. I will never know this.
Yeah, I usually watch
good TikToks from my kids.
TikTok compilation videos, like when someone's doing like a reaction video to them or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There was one recently, someone did a TikTok, and it was basically they were doing a musical version of someone having a fight in the supermarket, and they were like doing a musical theater version of, they saw a couple having a fight in the supermarket and there's a woman going off, and that was pretty funny. But then someone did a response one where he was the guy in the thing, and so it's a split screen and they're both on there and he's doing harmonies and singing a song, and then someone comes in, I'm the third person, I'm the kid who's with parents who are fighting, and someone else does another layering one where I'm the person in the shop just stacking the shelf next to them while they're fighting, and they're all singing these different, and it becomes it eventually it went kind of way too far, and it was, but about the first 6 of them were really good. Someone was just putting in another bit like, I'm this person, and they were just using the original video and they were singing another line on top, and it's just like, yep, musical theater, kids, what are you going to do? It's just
That reminds me of the one of those Potter videos. I forget what it's called, where each of the characters like says their name, and then it just adds on. Anyway, it's pretty funny.
Potter Puppet Pals.
Potter Puppet Pals, yeah.
Yeah, that's a classic YouTube, the mysterious ticking device.
Yes.
The bomb. Yeah, no, that was Neil Cicierega, I think, who's a totally weird guy who's incredibly inventive and has done heaps of stuff that ended up being memes, and people have no idea who created it. And it's like, no, it's Neil Cicierega. He's a theater kid. He's a musical theater kid. And it's just, and actually he was home educated. I read an interview with him. He was homeschooled and he was given all these musical instruments and a computer, and he just had all these time. His parents were like, guide yourself and learn. And he fucking did. He learned programming. He learned music. He learned video editing. And he just spent like the early part of YouTube. So when was that? That was like 2000. YouTube started in about 2004, 2005, and 2005. Yeah, something like that. And so that and what was the other website that fucking disappeared completely?
MySpace.
No. People put Flash animations on Newground. He was big.
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
He was big on Newground, and he was big on early YouTube. And it was just like this weird homeschool kid who was just given musical instruments and a computer, and he just went for it. He fucking went for it. Oh, Fox is back from the Discord call.
Hi, Fox.
On Discord. So I was just looking back in the chat when you were doing that close-up, Nerdy. Safa says you have nice teeth, which is nice.
Thank you.
That's good.
It's a 12-year-old.
It is. Who was at my house on New Year's Eve.
Come here, sweetie. What's up?
Actually had people over at my house on New Year's Eve, which was pretty wild. But of course, anyone who's on the live stream knows, because Nettie and Abigail were actually on the live stream, live from my house.
Abigail was on your floor too.
And we were on the live stream for a very long time. It was quite late when that finished.
3 a.m. We had to stay for Western Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was after party as well, which I missed.
Yeah.
No, I missed that as well. It's like at 3 a.m. when we were sort of settling up, and Mrs. Angry came out and go, "Oh, did we keep you awake the whole time?" And she's like, "Yep, you really did." And I was like, "Oh."
Hey, why did I yell boobs? Because my kids brought it up, and I can't remember why. I was like, boobs.
I think that's just the thing
Yeah,
we
but
yell.
you and Ali brought it up.
I think that's just this kind of thing we yell from time to time. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Your young
Just-
one looks mortified now.
Babes!
Why am I not surprised?
It's just a thing we do. It's Megally, did you watch that back later poster? We had fun.
Fox says hi, Nettie's youngest child.
Isn't that nice? Hi.
Hello, Fox.
Fox.
So normally, because I'm like so lazy and antisocial, I very rarely go out on New Year's Eve. Haven't for years, and I don't know, just one of the chats, because Abigail had been over one time, and Abigail's going, "Come over on New Year's Eve." Yeah, cool. And then he's just going, "Me too." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're actually having people over on New Year's Eve." Yeah,
That's all right.
Yeah, I brought
That's
my
all right.
munchkins.
My first New Year's Eve when I moved our home, I went to the movies.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's all I did. I went to the movies and like walked out of the cinemas at the end of I think it was Love Actually or some stupid movie like that, and
Yes.
I walked out and the fireworks was all going off.
Nice. That's good
Waiting
timing.
through the cinema.
That's good timing. I like
The positive
I tried
of
to go and see the
South
Wonder Woman
Brisbane.
movie.
it. So what's that,
The
Kelly?
what- I tried to see the Wonder Woman movie.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, when they were showing the ads and previews and stuff at the beginning, there was nothing on the screen. And then someone went out and got the person and brought them in, and we got footage, and then it kept going on and off the footage. And so we ended up getting free tickets to use next time. But I'm not going to try and see Wonder Woman again.
No,
That's all right. That was like, I went to see the premiere of The Dark Knight when it came out at Movie World, and we were almost at the end of the movie, and the film burnt up.
Oh, no.
It actually burnt up. We watched the flames on the screen.
Oh.
And we sat there for 20 minutes as they re-spliced the film to finish it off. And we missed a huge portion of the movie because it burnt up.
Some people just want to watch. Some people just want to watch
That
the
is
film.
rare to happen.
That was a very horrible experience.
Yeah.
We got free popcorn drinks that
Oh, they
evening.
were receiving
good.
Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Last time I went out for New Year's Eve was in Sydney, and this one hadn't even been born. In fact,
wow.
she wasn't even a glint in her father's eye. The other one was a toddler, and I drank far too much. And we went to the railway pub at Newtown. You know, the one that's right next to the train station?
Yep.
Yeah, that has a magical effect on me. Shit always happens afterwards. Then we went to the Black Market Cafe, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a photograph of me with my friends, and I've got one of those awful plastic lays around my neck, you know? I don't know where the fuck that came from. But I guess it must have been a good time because I was very sick the next day.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Going back to cinemas and mishaps, a year or so ago, went to see a movie called Widows, which was an American film version of a British short series about, the wives of criminals and what they have to do when their criminal husbands get killed on a job. And it's quite good. But anyway, we're in the cinema, and it was summer, and it was hot, and the air conditioning was broken. And it was day, and I'm sitting there with Mrs. Angry, just getting hotter and sweatier, and I'm just going, I don't know if I'm going to last the whole length of this movie. But as opposed to Shieldsy, where they were using actual film, which caught on fire, this place had digital projectors, which became obvious when the projector started to overheat because the air conditioning was gone, and the picture started to pixelate, and then it went out of sync, and then it fucked up all the. And so we walked out because I thought, okay, this is bullshit, and we were the first ones to walk out. And I walked up to the counter, and the counter staff just went, "Oh, are you in Cinema 3? You want a refund?" They knew the air conditioning was broken, and they were just waiting for someone to go, I can't handle it. I want my money back. And went, oh, yeah, no, the air conditioning broken is bad, but the projector just shat itself. And and they were fixing us up, and then slowly, like, the entire cinema emptied out. And we were just the first ones to go, this is bullshit. We're leaving. And then it eventually came out on Foxtel, and I watched it, and it's actually quite a good movie if you want to watch it. It's called Widows, and it's an American version of a British crime show. It's a movie version of a crime TV show.
Okay,
So the TV show is probably better because probably more stuff happens in it because it's like 4 or 5 episodes or whatever. But the movie is pretty good. The movie is actually quite good.
I tell you one thing about cinemas. At our cinema, if you go to the first session in the morning, they always stuff up the movie. Either the previews audio comes on, and there's no video, or the video comes on and there's no audio, or the movie doesn't start.
That's when they have the rookies on.
Trying to work out the bugs. Oh god, you just reminded me. It wasn't a technical problem, but who remembers? It's one of the found footage movies. Aliens Attack New York. Cloverfield. Who remembers?
Oh yeah. That one gave me a headache
because it's all handheld. And and the cinemas ended up putting a warning like, if you're subject to motion sickness, this movie might trigger you. We went in and saw it, and we were going in, and some of the cinema staff were busy putting sawdust on this big circle of vomit outside of the cinema. So in the previous session, someone had obviously been pushed to their limit, and they go, no, I'm definitely hurling, and they've run out to try and make it to the toilet, and they've made it about 3 steps out of the cinema.
I had to keep shutting my eyes during it just to get rid of the motion sickness. It was so bad.
Just carpet. And so it's kind of funny when we went there that just as the cinema putting sawdust on this big puddle of where someone's thrown up. And then I watched it and I thought, I know why that person threw up. I don't get motion sickness, but I'm starting to feel weird. The weird thing, Mrs. Angry does get motion sickness from driving, but she doesn't get motion sickness from screens that jiggle about. I don't get motion sickness from driving, but sometimes even playing video games like first-person shooters. Around too much, I can start to feel, no, this is not good. I have to stop.
Me too, but I persevere anyway.
Next worst thing is 3D movies. And oh my god, Avatar!
Yeah, they never really.
That was a horrible movie to watch. Oh my lord!
What about? I don't know if I mentioned this on stream, but this whole thing about cyberpunk and how it triggers seizures.
Yes, because of the flashing lights, it triggers epilepsy. Yeah.
Yeah, but the way they use the lights is almost a replica of the testing method that doctors use to diagnose seizures in epileptics.
Oh,
that's Yeah.
Yeah. It was a big
Mistake?
mistake. It was a very big mistake. Not good.
Well, I hope it was a mistake.
But I don't know. It's like I saw some stuff on YouTube where someone's comparing some of the graphics in the Cyberpunk game to games that are literally a couple years, like 2-3 years old, and everything in Cyberpunk 2077 was shithouse compared to games that were 2 or 3 years old, like Far Cry 5 or Red Dead Redemption 2. And I don't know if the person was faking it for the video or if it was a setting that you could adjust based on the power of your PC or whatever, or if Cyberpunk 2077 is actually just that bad. Like firing guns at walls didn't do any damage to the walls. And they were just showing comparisons of games that were like 2-3 years old that had environment damage if you fired things. And it was just like, if that's like, it was so bad, I started to doubt it was real, because it's like, who could do that? Who could do that in a new release game? But and I don't have it, so I don't know if it's actually just bad.
That's all right. Grand Theft Auto has been out for how many years now, and it's still shit.
5 or 6.
You always find, if you're one of the players like me who drive around a lot around the map, you always find that one glitch.
Yeah.
They just cannot master the map.
Yeah.
I have more fun with Saints Row than Grand Theft Auto.
Oh my God.
Because they expect you to do all the things that you end up doing in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And you get achievements for it.
Yeah. Red Dead Redemption 2 has some really funny glitches. I played it on the PS4, and every now and then, like apparently
there's the problem, you're playing on a PS4.
Yeah, the early versions before patches were apparently riddled with glitches. There's some very funny videos. But you still now get some really funny glitches in it. Like one, I was just roaming around. I was exploring the map, like rather than advancing the story, and I'd wandered off ages. Like I was still in my gang was still in the first camp, and I just thought, I'm exploring the whole map. Fuck it. And I'm off down in the New Orleans sort of area. I'm in the swamp area, and I've gone for ages. And I walked into this house. It was one of the houses you could walk into the door, and my dude just kind of fell through a void. It was like some sci-fi thing. It was just this. Everything was black, and he was just falling, and he's going, oh, and I'm going, what is happening? And he's just falling through this void, and and then snap, and he's 2 states away. He lands on the ground. He's okay. He's 2 states away, and I'm like, where's my horse?
That's a similar glitch in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. I'm like, where's
find that hole in the map, you go through it, you end up somewhere else.
Yeah. I looked on the map, and my horse was back outside the house where I'd fallen through the void, but my character is like 2 states away, and I'm like, how do I get my horse back? And to run, that's like 45 minutes of gameplay of just running.
Oh my Lord.
Just to get my horse back. It was like the weirdest thing. I was like, I was just going, is this the game? Is the game meant to do that? It's like I'm falling through a void. What the hell? And then I saw some of these YouTube videos, and it's actually a pretty common glitch that randomly the landscape stops working, and you just fall through a void for a while and end up who knows where. And it's like, okay, that's cool. I like it. It's cool.
Poor Corey the other day had to redo all his game footage.
Yeah.
He had spent all that time, and it fucked up on him, and he had to go back from square one. And the funny thing about it, he said it only took him a day to get it back to square one again.
Yeah. Here you go, Supper.
Oh, here's trouble.
Yeah, definitely trouble. One of my favorite comedians and podcasters, Irish guy with a performing name, Blind Boy, does Twitch streams where he plays a game, and he's done it with Red Dead, and he's done it with Cyberpunk, and he makes up a song based on what's happening, and he's got like a loop machine, so he'll play guitar, he'll do bass, he'll do drum machine, and he'll do loops, and he'll sing his own harmonies, and some of them are so funny, and he just like hits this moment, and it's just like he's singing about a glitch in the game. In one camp, there was a horse that was stuck like on a campfire. It was just doing that thing where it shakes, and he's going, and he's singing this song about the horse is stuck, the horse is stuck. And he went and looked at it, and there was something wrong with the mapping of the horse, and it had like two eyes on the side of its head, and so it's got two eyes on the side of its head, and it's dancing on the fire. And he actually comes up with really good songs based on random glitchy shit that happens in the games. It's that's my little recommend, because I am literally about to go to bed, and your mic isn't
Pussy.
Can't hear you at all. Can't hear you at all.
Pussy.
Hey, kitty cat saying hello. Oh, he's going to try again. Okay, I'll wait for Grasshopper to try and reconnect.
The revolving door. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So, guys,
Cattail just right on the screen.
Cattails. Woohoo.
All right, I'm going to put a couple of drinks away while waiting for Grasshopper returns.
what's the prediction? What's going to happen next
With
in
what?
Washington? In Washington, with Trump and his Trumpies.
Not a lot. Bit of
They're all going to
terrorism.
get told off. Stop on the rest side button to
Can you guys hear me now?
barely,
Slightly.
very low. Move your mic closer to your mouth, maybe.
I don't think it's a position of the
Yep,
mic, I think.
yep. That's
No, that's it.
Okay, excellent. Hello to everybody.
Hey,
Hello.
buddy.
Hey.
Nellie's playing around with her pussy.
Okay.
What?
So, angry.
Nettie, yeah.
A few of my friends have just introduced me to a game that I didn't know existed, but it is a lot of fun, called Raft.
Yeah, I already played that.
Yep. So for those not in the know, it's like a survival type of game where you're basically stranded on a raft in the middle of the ocean, and you've got to build up the raft itself. But it's not like the other survival games where it's just a constant, surviving thing. There's actually like a single player story to it and all of that sort of stuff.
There's a fucking shark.
Yes. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. The shark that we all call Bruce.
Me
Lots
and
of
my
fun.
friend have me and one of my friends have another name for the shark.
Asshole.
No, bitch fish.
Bitch fish.
She deals
Yeah,
with
no.
the bitch fish, and then I go.
I got
Dive
woken
in
up
and
this
just-
morning. I got woken up this morning by a friend of mine who works on Capitol Hill.
Oh, God.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
my Lord.
Yep.
How good
managed
was
to get
that?
out. She managed to get out of there, thankfully, with no injuries or anything like that. But she was like,
Was she scared?
oh, she was fucking beyond frightened. She was absolutely shitting bricks. Yeah.
Poor
Like
things.
apparently, what a lot of people like aren't aware of. Apparently, these fuckers weren't just armed; they also had bombs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, pipe bombs. Yeah.
Yes. So that's a fucking frightening thought. I mean,
Yeah.
it's frightening enough that you got fucking idiots that honestly believe that fucking Trump that Trump honestly won that election and he just got robbed it by some conspiracy. Like, the idea that people actually believe that is as frightening as people believing the earth is flat, for instance. But the idea that these fucking armed idiots with bombs stormed Capitol Hill, Jesus. The only good thing to come out of that is all of the memes of the dude with the horns and the fucking face paint and fur and all of that.
You shaman,
I
yeah.
haven't seen any of the memes yet.
They're everywhere with that guy. You'll see him everywhere. Log into Facebook for
Check
5
out
minutes and they're everywhere.
my Facebook feed, Kelly. I've got a few of them
Reddit.
on there.
There's a few on Reddit.
I stay away from
Reddit.
Reddit.
Yeah, well,
Okay, the nuts are waking up in the US. Here we go. Twitter's gone ballistic
the
again.
leopards eating people's faces subreddit is going to be funny for next few weeks.
Which Reddit is that?
Leopards eating people's faces. It's
Oh,
that meme.
God.
Shieldsy knows the subreddit.
Oh
Yeah.
God!
I know that. I know that subreddit very
No,
well.
no, no! I've heard people tweeting that. Oh my Lord!
I've
The
I'm
one
subbed to that Reddit.
the one site that I'm kind of curious to hop onto in the next couple of days just to see what they come up with this whole thing in Capitol Hill will be QAnon and seeing what they've got there.
Oh God.
Scary stuff.
Why are you still
Yeah.
leopard?
Don't get me wrong. I don't read anything on QAnon and think that it's got any form of validation at all, but it's entertaining nonetheless.
Leopards ate my
I try to
face.
pretend it doesn't exist.
So, Angry, did you hear my game recommendation?
I did not.
Raft.
Okay, sorry. No, I did. Yeah, you build your own raft, and this is what I want. Yep.
With an actual single player like ending in the game as well.
Okay.
Like, so it's not just this constant over and over thing. It's a lot of fun. I can't and they're also like, after we finish off this one, they're also telling me that the forest is really good as well.
Okay.
Oh, it's on Steam?
Yeah, they're on Steam. Yeah. I've been playing 7 Days to Die for God knows how long, and I enjoy it thoroughly. So tried to play Rust, couldn't stand it. Love 7 Days to Die. Raft is a lot of fun. Looking forward to getting into the forest.
Right. I'm playing Yakuza Like a Dragon at the moment, and they talk so much in this. Like, I think, I'm not even exaggerating, the first 4.5 hours of the game, more than 4 hours was dialogue, just actually watching characters talk, and just for the occasional few seconds of a little bit of gameplay. And now I'm like 20 hours in, so I think I'm finally getting to the stage where it's a bit more free and open, and it's less common to have to sit through 20-minute bits of dialogue. I just had to sit through 20 minutes of dialogue earlier. Anyway.
I am all for a game having a really good in-depth storyline, but that seems a bit excessive.
It seems a bit excessive. It's also turn-based combat, which I find a bit weird because I don't usually play RPGs with turn-based combat.
Yeah, I don't like turn-based combat.
Yeah,
I can only stand it in Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, Pokemon's there. All right, so I am going to go to bed. So good night, everyone on the screen, because I'm killing in the chat, because I'm killing the live stream. So you folks can hang around as much as